pain.
I mean, sometimes in
this world.
Shadowrun they do.
Well,
Hi,
in
everybody.
this-
In this world, it's a crapshoot whether you're gonna like eat a bug. And
Well,
be
in this world,
sentient.
that bug might be a person.
Yeah, true.
Can insect? I don't think insects can be shifter.
I mean, it could be a spirit that'll possess you then and turn you into some kind of like horrific
that's
zombie
Yeah.
that'll nest more spirits out of and infest more people in a horrific process that's dooming. But that's an entirely other issue.
Never forget, Chicago is a bug spirit infested city.
Yeah.
It's gotten better.
It's a marginal improvement over real Chicago.
They have cleared out a bunch of them. They're theoretically clean. And I put that in quotations just to be like, you know,
And
it's
now
you never know.
And now I'm picturing Futurama, the alien roach couple that makes pizzas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Look, it's like when you go to the one Fallout 3 DLC that's in Pittsburgh, and they just that's just Pittsburgh how it normally looks.
Poor
My,
bastards.
That's
my
just
fiance
how
would
it
take
works.
umbrage with that.
Well, I live here, so
Yeah, I know. She grew up there.
Look, you know,
yeah, the actual rivers will kill you if you step foot in.
look, you know, one day, everything left over from all that steel mills will be cleaned out. One day, in about 200 years.
It will never be clean.
In about 200 years. All the
After
steel.
humanity dies.
Anyway, enough side stuff. Hi, welcome to A Frosty Job. It's a Shadowrun adventure as we got distracted by some Shadowrunning talking and other post-apocalyptic things.
Silliness.
I know, silliness. We missed last week, but we're back. We're not necessarily in Pog form. We're not Alf, but we're here and we're ready to adventure. And I assume everybody
Although
else
I
here.
might be as hairy as Elf.
That's not wrong. You're not wrong about that one.
Okay.
You are a fuzzy man.
Yeah, I think you're gonna wake up just shaved one day after you pissed off someone wrong.
There's no hair.
Just a
fucked up, man.
shaved Alucard. It's just be
I
kind of
weep.
spooky looking.
God weeps.
It's like, you know, like the it's just certain animals when they lose all their hair, you're just like, ooh, you just don't
Not
look
my
good anymore.
tail.
Yeah.
It's like when you see a hairless chimp, you're like, ooh.
That's not
my
right.
Tail, man.
That's
not my
not right.
tail.
But anyway, yeah, we're going to start by dropping a scenario for our players here that they can kind of discuss a little bit here and figure out what they're going to do for it while they introduce themselves as, you know, themselves and their characters. So why don't we throw some D20s out here, because D20s are, you know, it's a lot less likely that we're going to have repeats. I gotta be
So I'm
honest.
saying that it's less likely that we're gonna have repeats because every time you do, we get a repeat.
You know,
Trying to.
it
Oh my
does
God.
feel like someone's going to roll like
I can't spell.
fortunately.
There we go.
Okay, so it will be Wyrm Joe.
I feel like the consistent. I'm now like in the position
Jesse was last game.
Jesse was
always
last
game
game,
first to
always
start.
going first.
On the spot.
So
I'm slightly monkey in the middle.
this is going to be an interesting one because it's a version of what we've done before, but a little bit different. So the scenario that you're going to be experiencing is you awaken in a forest of spirits. They are watching you.
I can't see them.
They can certainly see you.
They certainly, spirits can actually manifest physically. So what I mean, they're
I know,
there.
I'm
They're
making
there.
I was making a joke.
I know you don't normally can see them, but they're there. Anyway, so we turn over to Wyrm.
Yeah. I'm Diamond Wyrm, and I'm playing Ari Sharpeye, a shifter sniper, a falcon or a hawk shifter sniper. Yeah. So what kind of spirit? Like is it like, because you know there is the difference as we were just talking about between like an insect spirit and an animal spirit.
These do seem to be spirits that are native to this place rather than something horrifically invasive. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
In this mysterious magical forest that you find yourself awakened in.
I'd ask them what they want.
Ooh. They would state, you are here invading.
Then I will leave.
Okay. This could be like,
All right.
peace,
Okay.
I'm out. Don't worry about it. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm out. Don't worry about it. Just gonna walk this way. Don't mind me.
Yep.
Don't mind me. Don't do anything. We'll see how that goes. We don't know. Anyway, Joe, Ari may or may not be jumped by some spirits, just like the kids from before. Ari just keeps getting jumped. we're just gonna assume that Ari keeps
It
getting.
happened.
It's karmic justice for being a
Yeah,
nerd,
no.
I think.
This is
That's what
bad
happens.
for me because it's just like I have no charisma whatsoever, and if anything, I'm abrasive.
Yeah.
Well, you can just join Ari in being killed, I guess.
But
I
I'm
mean,
Joe,
worst case, I
play-
take to the skies.
I can't do that.
Why? Attitude.
I'm Joe. I play Alucard, also known as Pause. And I guess I will something wrong.
They basically state the same thing in a weird conchorus voice. They all speak together, but it's like also like a bunch of different voices that seem to meld together in a strange way. It's probably normal magically, but for you who doesn't know a lot of magic, it's just creepy, you know? Creepy
All of
magic
these
stuff.
Is it okay if I just go back the way I came?
That would be destructive.
Is there another way I could leave that would not bother you?
Yes.
That doesn't involve my death.
No.
They would give you a kind of very, very fake-coded. They will give you some form of task to do. I assume you'd follow it then?
Yeah, I
All right,
will do what
so-
I will do the task.
So Alucard will basically be lost in some mysterious, like, basically, aka Fey Woods for a little while, eventually find themselves back somewhere, and you'll basically wake up somewhere else and like, how'd I get here from there? It'll be like one of those kind of things.
Bro
I'm
went
just
on
like-
a side
I
quest.
probably heard
honestly-
stories of things like this from my parents, since they come from an island nation. It's like. trying to
Honestly, I'd
appease them.
rather have a chance to escape and die trying than having to separate salt from sugar for like an eternity.
Nah, that's fair.
Miss me with your Faye bullshit. I'm pulling a gun on myself.
That's respectable, actually. Yeah, that's fair.
I turn over to Jessie.
Yeah, I'm playing Nox. Are the spirits manifested physically?
Yes, you can see them.
Cool, then that means I can hit them. I attack them.
All right, so
I'll
one
be-
person definitely dies.
Like,
People are walking through like a fucking forest trail the next day and just find my bones hanging from the tree. Listen, I could definitely beat a spirit. in-
Congratulations, you're now a bunch of talismans.
Yeah,
I'm not-
yeah, you go to punch a spirit and smash cut to the Fallout 2 death screen.
All three spirit. How many are there?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I'll be damned if I get ordered around by A, some nerds, and B, some nerds who live in the forest.
Magical nerds.
You have no idea how many people Nox has shoved in a locker over the course of his life. These forest dweebs can get it too.
Yeah, kind kind of sucks because most shifters would have an easy time dealing with spirits. Technically, I didn't grow up in a forest though.
Finally, we turn it over to Momo.
Hi, I'm Momo. You know who I am. I'm on this channel way too much.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, well, as someone who is kind of like bestowed power-ish by a spirit because I have a cool mentor spirit, I probably just channel that cool guy to show, hey, I'm chill with spirits.
Okay. Going
That's
for
fair.
I'm down with your type, man.
going for some negotiation route.
Also,
That
yeah,
can
I
really
feel like
work out.
also maybe being an elf might help a little bit.
It depends on the circumstance. There are definitely some elves that probably wouldn't help with, but plenty that
Yeah, well.
might. So
Man, that's cheating. That's like having a lawyer.
well, apparently we've got spirit lawyer.
Well, no, but the way he said it sounds like, hey, I got a black friend here. Look.
Literally have a mentor snake spirit that's with me at all times, sure.
Yep. Your spirit will help negotiate things, and hopefully it'll go well. Don't worry about
There's
it.
a cool serpent guy.
He's a cool serpent guy. He tells you to stay in school or something like that. Or
No,
shit.
he's cool because he's always smoking.
Oh,
Ah, hell yeah, brother.
the classic.
A cigarette or just actually smoking?
Yes. That's the answer. Is just yes. So if you missed a couple weeks ago when we last had our session, we had this nice adventure where our group of people here went into a corporate office and met with a very, very, very wonderful man named Jason Shimmer, who is that the right one? No.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Jason Shimmer.
Sorry. I just saw I had something off in my notes, so I was confusing myself. I'd accidentally put something wrong down, so I just corrected that there. But yes, Jason basically was like negotiated with some information from you. Kind of got some information out of him, got some information of you. Kind of very corporate speak, and was like, I like you guys. I can probably
Pretty
use
good
you.
shit.
I mean,
Yeah.
I could use some grunts.
Yeah. But afterwards, you then managed to complete your original quest by Mr. Hippo, and we learned some information from him about the thief, a man named Silence, who was basically supposed to effectively give a portion of his cut to Hippo, because Hippo was kind of a middleman for arranging stuff there, and didn't get out of that money, so Hippo's a lot more like, yeah, here's some information. So you know that Silence hangs out at a place that you've learned the name of, the Dancing Orc, which is, to be blunt, a brothel. A place that you can, basically he has whoever he goes to there on the regular. Discovering where it is, you manage to work with your contacts in the local kids gang, which are technically a sub-faction of the local gang that kind of runs half the city. And using that, you've basically gotten a general into the brothel. Now, we were kind of leaving off where you're about to travel in your vehicle towards the Dancing Orc. Is there any final things anybody wants to do before we hit the cities, hit the streets?
I can't imagine anything.
I don't have anything off the top of my head. I think we stopped everywhere we needed to already.
Okay. Yeah. So you'll be heading to the alleys and slums of Agege, where the brothel is. Certainly speaking, it is a bit of a travel through side roads and streets. Most of the times you've actually gone near a Gege and gotten to any portion of it. You're coming off of main roads where you're entering into the various areas of there where it's a little bit more settled with large markets and places where, certainly speaking, you can kind of, it's that kind of area where you can see and you're kind of on the edges of the slums and they kind of touch into the area. But because it's such a large marketplace and people come in from all over the place, it kind of like holds it back a little bit there too. You know, it's those bastions of civilization that oftentimes head up in rougher areas of city where it's kind of like you just drive and all of a sudden you go from like one block where it's a little bit more grungy, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, I'm in this area that looks really nice. Why? Oh, that's the reason. In this case, it's a lot of markets which tend to have a little bit more muscle and stuff there too. But now you're kind of heading into those streets and they're kind of choked and crowded, and it's not necessarily difficult to travel in your vehicle. Certainly speaking, traffic is going here and there, but it's slow going still too. It's very rough places with people all over the places and traveling and people living their lives. And as you're going along, though, you will come to a point in time, probably about halfway across the area of Agege, where you can see a group of area boys seemingly have created some sort of checkpoint, or checking in with everybody that goes. This kind of tall orcish man will kind of start approaching the side of your vehicle. He's got kind of shades on, kind of like a hat that kind of covers over his head. That's a little bit more of a simple militaristic style, kind of like a little bit of camouflage over it. He's kind of like got some a little bit of armor on that's kind of showing with his weapon strapped to his back, while a couple of his friends are kind of standing back, guns in hands, using, of course, their AKs that they seems like all the area boys use in this area because, well, they have their favorite gun, or it's just the common gun around this area.
Yeah, just so you know, I am in my pod and jacked into my van, so I will roll down the windows and let someone else speak. Good excuse of me not having to deal with them.
He's gonna kind of scratch his head for a moment and kind of like look around. Who's driving your car?
I drive myself.
Okay.
Shoot it! It is evil robot!
Shoot it!
No.
Robot.
Oh shit! It's a Turbinator.
Oh man. Well.
Where does
He's gonna
this
kind of
happen?
kick the tire and be like,
Is it,
"You some kind of big drone? What?"
where does this
Don't
happen?
do
Is it
that.
just when we cross into a Gege?
No, there's like kind of like halfway through it, like in the slums and streets.
Okay.
Kind of like, so it's
I
like
mean,
a.
someone could be
choke
sitting
stuff.
shotgun.
Was someone in the front?
It would not be me because
Yeah.
people don't talk to women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially here.
I mean, I was probably sitting in the passenger seat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, that would be shotgun, because the back.
Oh
back
yeah,
of the
shotgun.
van,
Yeah.
like benches.
You control this car from here, or you got some kind of remote you're using? Don't do it in our side of the streets. If you hit something, we will shoot you.
At least they gave us a warning.
How polite.
I don't worry. It is controlled.
Better be. Well, what brings you to this area of town?
We were okay, I need to look up to see. Oh yes, he does say Slugger did say we'll probably need some extra money to grease our way through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just reviewing the notes because
Yeah,
Real fast.
that's where some people took out extra cash only.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I remember now. Okay. So we didn't get a ton of information. We were informed that that we have oh gosh, sorry. Sorry, brain's still spinning into gear a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The brothel.
Yeah, I'm trying to I didn't write it
That's
down. Was
not
there?
in character.
Yeah. We have been. We have made an arrangement to visit the dancing orc.
He's kind of like you get the feeling he's like looking very skeptical. He's not hiding that whatsoever, but he's like, "You must have some friends." Strange. All right. Well, still, for Oyobos, there still is a bit of toll for passing through this neighborhood, and with this dangerous vehicle and dangerous traveling, the toll will be a little bit of extra. I'm sure you can pay, though, since it seems like you're on business here. Oyobo friend.
Yes. We have some arrangements. I can make will this be enough? I'll hold up 200 walla.
You're gonna show him a gun.
No,
Me showing the toll
I mean,
booth worker my 100% off
if we
coupon.
wanted to go that way route, I'll just put the gun up from the roof.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're holding up 200 Hawala worth of Hawala tokens. You're saying?
Yes.
Because normally one Hawala token has a value of either 500 or 1,000 Naira. It looks like.
Well,
no. There are different denominations of Hwala. It's like
Yes.
between 1 to 1,000, right?
Yeah.
It's just that Hwala is more trusted
Yeah.
than Naira is.
Okay, up to
Yeah,
1,000. They don't say the exact amount of them for the tokens and stuff there too. They're not very good. at
Yeah, I think there's a
information
picture.
They
and it shows, like,
they
some
they
of the-
do. They do 5, 10, 50, 100, and 1,000 are the of Naira.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I missed where that was in here.
It's at the bottom.
In the player handout.
Yeah, I was looking at the player
it's-
handout.
There's
Oh,
the
oh,
monkey, the fish, the hippo, the parrot, and the lion.
oh, in that section there.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying for how much Naira they're worth. So you're giving like 200 Naira,
like-
basically, to parrots? Is
Yep.
what you're trying to think?
Yes.
He'll kind of give this look up here. It'll be 1 lion if you are paid. Especially with such a
I
dangerous vehicle.
I'll try and negotiate. No, I'm gonna just hand it. I'm like, very well. I'll hand him the lion.
He'll kind of like take it, kind of say something to it, his buddies in Igbo. That's the right one. Yes, sorry. It's been 2 weeks, so I'm trying to remember, the two sides.
I'm actually okay. Actually, I am gonna do something. A lion that must at least be for passive to be able to pass through here on the way back without harassment. Correct?
Normally, you would have to pay at least one way. We don't normally charge the other way, but I'm not saying that there won't be other tolls that will be around. Other areas have different tolls and different rules in areas of the city, and it will depend on how you drive. But if you are passing through here, certainly speaking, you will probably be all right.
Very well.
He's going to head back to his buddies, kind of like motion for you to pass through as they'll start chatting about something and leave you to travel. You can continue your journey to the area. Let me just do something here. We'll switch some things around. I'm gonna do.
I mean,
I made
I'm gonna
things
be
worse.
honest. The whole point was to lowball them, and I was expecting to pay probably about 1,000. So
That wasn't
I think
bad.
I made things worse.
Though strange, not a driving vehicle was definitely something that threw them for a loop. Anyway, I'm going to throw you over to here because it's the area around the dancing.
Oh, hell
Walk.
yeah.
So here you go. We got a little map here. Let me turn that on over here. Let me go over here and do which one of these is the thing that I'm wanting to press. I think it is. That one? There we go. That's what I want. Perfect. All right. You found yourself in the area around the Dancing Orc Brothel, of course. This is on a kind of small kind of waterfront where the river kind of passes, one of the smaller streams where rivers kind of pass through this area. The water is very shallow in this area. There's, of course, a market nearby, various bars and places, and very obvious, the large Area Boys compound nearby, only a couple blocks away from the brothel itself.
I love the bar is just bar.
What else you gonna name it? Sure.
It's the bar. It's probably the.
There's only one of them.
Yeah, I know. It's just kind of funny.
I'm going to guess we just call it the bar because it's sort of like you can tell it's a bar, but its name is in Igbo, so you can't really read what it's called. You know.
That's fair.
You know. Of course, you're getting a lot of like looks from around the area, and you can definitely see that there's a number of individuals that are kind of in the area. Are you pulling up directly? Where are you going nearby? You certainly are deep within the basically community of the Igbo people, so there's definitely like a strange vehicle pulling up in this area that stands out just a tiny bit.
Oh, something I can do. If you want to maybe pull it a little more secret, I can use magic to illusionary hide your vehicle and make it look like a different vehicle, basically.
Okay. You find a good place to
that would be around here.
Get out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea because I think we should park as close as possible because if we're trying to get the guy out and take him somewhere to deal with him.
And certainly speaking, do it. Remember, you basically at least two of you have a pass to go in theoretically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. The other two,
well, I wasn't planning on leaving my vehicle, honestly.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
fair.
One of you definitely should not leave the car unless you're ready to shoot someone. The other one, just wouldn't want to.
Yeah, and I'm sure also being a weird monkey man might be a little with how these people are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably getting weird looks.
It depends. Like, at very least, you know, you're probably not the most unusual thing in the area, and certainly speaking, mostly because you still are a foreigner, probably with the most part. You know, oddly enough, sexism and anti-women magic tend to go much higher than, you know, a little bit of
yeah, I'm
racism.
not saying
It tends to be less metatype and more just, you know, you're a foreigner kind of there.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm as
also because they are very strength-based, like, they might look down at you too. I guess because, like, you know, they probably have plenty of
very skinny, thin.
To be fair,
wiry man.
This area is technically closer to India, so you probably might see one or two of you.
Rare, but not impossible. And
I'm
especially
just saying,
with the port,
like,
you know, there could be, you know, some things. But you're not very close to the port at this moment, too, is the weird thing. The kind of
it's like a quarter of the way around the world instead of halfway around the world.
A little closer. So, you could certainly find parking nearby. Where do you want to position the van? We can wait. Drag the van out. Let me do that. Where's the van token? There's the van token. There we go. We'll shrink it down a little bit here. Where do you want to put the van? I have it next to the brothel right now, but you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Can we park that close? Or...
You can probably find some space
I need to do my spell casting checks first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I honestly think it might be a little bit better to go like over here, just so
Yeah.
like a little bit. Away.
So like maybe like over here, you'd say like here.
I'm just worried if you guys start a commotion and are dragging a guy out.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's still close enough to where it's all like you could drive up in like 10 seconds. So
Yeah.
that's more my point. I think it's better to be slightly out of the way. I feel like parking in the back alley is just asking for trouble.
It's all kind of alleys around here and like thin roads, though.
I meant the alley behind the orc itself, the dancing orc.
Oh yeah, the dancing orc makes sense. Maybe.
I think parking in an alley is a good idea.
In front of, where's compound?
Question: is the door over here or over here?
We'll say the door is on this side right here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Jeez, you had to pick. You had to be different.
Well,
I was
it's
actually up
it's
top.
open to the most open area, so it feels logical because it's kind of like this little open area. in
That
front
makes
of it.
sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking that like there'd be a street over here is my thought, but then.
Well, these are kind of all like very thin streets here. You know, I would say like this is more akin to like some alleys around here, but we kind of have some like small streets in this area that might be like one vehicle wide and kind of things like that. You know, it's very tight quarters with slightly larger areas and kind of back alleys and kind of stuff like that that people squeeze in and amongst.
Okay, I just my brain just got a size check when I looked at the open market and saw basically what would be a person size. So
yeah.
Because if you think about it, like the person would fit under that tent, which actually shrinks this down a lot more than I.
And you can see down at the bottom, it's got the 10 meters. That gives you an idea of how big that is down there.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like again, the roads, these like little roads and alleys tend to be like one vehicle across. Some areas might be like 1.5 vehicles in certain areas and stuff like that. But it's a bunch of buildings shoved in here, you know, stuff like that. So you kind of rolling up, you're kind of in this area that probably those like you're more likely to see the like the bike taxis and stuff like that coming into these areas or anything about much, or people just generally speaking on foot, or smaller vehicles that have been converted and stuff like this. Your van probably stands out a little bit as it's pretty large in comparison to the average vehicle that's in this area. I think that's the big thing about it we can kind of say.
That's what the illusion will be for.
Yep. I mean, the illusion won't still stop it from being large and wide. It just will look different.
It'll look less conspicuous.
Yeah.
What's the spell?
Vehicle mask.
You might. I'll just give a suggestion because you've probably seen some vehicles. You might be able to pull off rather than being like the kind of van you look like. Maybe like a like some kind of like truck and stuff that might be
that
carrying
was
stuff that would be more for like
plan.
you know stuff at the market or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I'm sorry. So I've chosen spell, chosen target. Alright. Press this button. Okay. Situational modifiers. Alright. Oh god. I'm not gonna. Gosh, so many fucking things. I have to click through. There you go.
Okay. So 6 successes. Nice.
I do not take any train. I resist the train.
Yep. Train 3 versus 4. Do a nice thing.
And
All right.
I don't take sustain penalties because I can sustain 2 spells.
Okay, wait.
Before I take
hold on.
penalties.
This can be used on drones.
Yes.
We could totally just turn his drone into like a bee, so it would look like normal. Like an actual animal.
That is funny. We could do that eventually.
Yeah, probably not for this mission since he's, I doubt he wants to use
I can-
2 concentrations to.
I can make one of your dog drones just look like a real dog.
That's fucking awesome.
Bork, 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 bork.
You could make a dog that shoots bees out of its mouth.
It's the dog from Metal Gear Rising.
It really is the dog from Metal Gear Rise. Alright, so your vehicle kind of like looks like it. Generally speaking,
It's like a beat up lorry.
Yeah, like
Oh, never mind. You have to literally be in contact with the thing the
Yeah.
whole time, so that wouldn't work.
Yeah. So
Oh,
it probably looks like kind of like a beat up truck, you know, with maybe some stuff in the back, you know, so it just looks like something that might be in this area, kind of parked at the side of the area. Probably in this little area here where it's a little wider so you can fit the vehicle. Like the area where you probably have it parked right now might be like, we'll say like just about 2 vehicles wide, so you can kind of be parked off to the one side, very close to the wall there, and people could, if they needed to bring a vehicle through, could still squeeze through, generally speaking, so you're not in the way. There's a little bit of traffic here, but not a lot of traffic, certainly speaking. You know, there's normal people that live in the many businesses and homes around this area, but also, you know, there's a nice big old brothel there, which, yeah, they're probably, you know, not hanging around very long around there, necessarily.
Yeah, and for fun visuals, the way Naomi cast this is she gets into a very meditative state, just kind of in the middle of the floor on the van in the back, and just kind of cross-legged meditative state.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what's the plan now? Your vehicle's kind of hidden in plain sight pretty well, unless something happens. Generally, most people will probably...
Or someone with magical eyes looks at it.
Yeah,
not
well,
an
what's the likelihood of
impossibility, but you know.
Oh, do you want me to send one of my mosquitoes around the brothel, scope out the area?
Yeah, that'd be preferable if they could do it without someone being like, oh, hey, someone has drones in our brothel.
Yeah.
So I'll jump into one of my mosquitoes.
Okay. So you jump into one of your mosquitoes. Why don't you give me a check here to perceive around the area then? Nose a little bit there. You can see what you can see then with that. I think that would be perception plus.
I don't have any clear sight on that one.
Okay, so you don't have clear sight on that one. So generally speaking, I think then you're just using your perception. Is it? What's the rules for that when you have to remember these things? Give me a bit of a look.
I think it's... Sorry, also, but, you know, being off last week, I'm trying to
Oh, hey,
remember.
drone perception. Search thing. Drone perception, 270. Cool. Start with that.
Don't worry, I may or may not have pulled up a step-by-step guide on how I cast a spell.
2 weeks is definitely a lot. And it's a system where we don't do certain things as much. Drones are surrounding you with apply clear sight. If you jump to the drone, you make a perception, intuition, sensor test. Either way, you could use the drone's entire
Perception,
sensor suite.
intuition, and sensor. Right.
Well, no, perception, intuition, sensor is your maximum. So the maximum sensor of
Okay.
the drone is how many successes you can get. What's the sensor on your drone?
I'm looking. Give me a second.
I think it's 3, if I recall. Small drones have very small sensor boxes.
You usually have to build into a lot more for bigger ones. Depends on the drone too, though. But yeah.
Yeah, you basically have to sacrifice, like the way drones work is there are rules for basically making one thing worse to make another thing better.
Yeah, I mean, let's see.
I assume this one's just made for sensors more than anything.
But I assume this is a fairly standard one. I don't think you modified it that much, if I recall.
I modified them a little bit, so I'm double trying to find it in my chummer because I had things. It's easier to actually look at them in there. Sensor rating 3.
Okay, so it is 3. All right, so you can have a maximum of 3 successes. Go ahead and roll your perception, intuition.
Now just trying to find perception on my sheet.
Indeed. I think this is.
Oh, there it is. I found it.
Yep. Sorry, I was trying
Sorry.
to. No, it's okay. Trying to cross-reference things too, here and there. Okay, so 3 successes, so your sensor limit is met, but you managed to hit it there too. As you're looking around and kind of searching around the building, you will kind of notice that there is some kind of people going in and out. The doors are kind of closed. A lot of the windows are kind of blackened, so you really can't see in there. Judging that it is indeed in a very hot and sweaty area, there are a number of fans in various places that seem to be connected to the outside of the building that kind of pump air in there. You don't see any signs of anything like an AC unit, just seems like they pump some air in through various fans that are going. Speed enough that you probably don't want to try to slip one of your mosquito in there, at least, because it probably looks a little dangerous, you know? But other than that, things do seem a lot private with, like, darkened windows that you really can't see in at all. The building itself seems pretty stout there. As I said, the front door opens and closes occasionally, with people coming in and going and most. And there does seem to be a couple of people that are kind of standing around at the outside of the main entrance that seem to probably be, you're guessing, check-in bouncers, guards. They are a little bit more subtle than your average area boys, but inspection of them, they do seem to be kind of dressed up and wearing some of those things, except they're not brandishing huge AKs, but you can kind of notice that they do have semi-concealed weapons on them, enough that you've noticed them.
Yeah,
they're not
trying to scare off the customers, but they're prepared.
Yeah, they're like, you know, large pistols and stuff like that definitely seem like they're ready to blast someone if really need be. They're not super hidden, but they are slightly hidden. It's sort of like, so they're not brandishing them out in the wild, you know, open, but with a good view, you're like, yeah, they're there. And certainly speaking, they do look tough enough, you know, basically kind of watching over the entire area here. There does seem to be kind of a back door to this place over here, on the back side, over near the water's edge, but it does seem to be some kind of maybe like security door or fire exit that seems to be closed up, probably locked from the inside. There doesn't seem to be an obvious keyhole on the outside, so it might be something that's made to be more emergencies, one way kind of thing.
Exit for emergency, yeah.
Yes, but it is there to know about. And the windows themselves, even though they are darkened, theoretically someone could open one up and do that kind of too. So there are a lot of possible escape routes out of these places that you can kind of see.
I'll relay all that through comms and call my drone back.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not going to be able to just slip it in. The fans through the intake into the building are going way too fast. I don't think I can get my drone through there quick enough. I can hide one on you guys, and then once you're in, try to, you know, fly around and try to stay out of people's vision.
Yeah.
They are stealthy.
That's fair. You can put one on me if you want. Just have it in like my hoodie or something.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
And I'll stay jumped in on it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. So are the two of you that were playing on Guns Brothel then heading inside, or is there something else you want to do to prep before you do so?
I mean, I can't think of anything. Yeah.
'Cause, like,
unless Ari has an idea, but
But you're kind of a straightforward character.
yeah.
I prep my knuckles.
Okay. I'm gonna check something really fast.
Okay.
So, yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm reading one of two spells at the moment.
You say, can you send a spirit in with them?
No, unfortunately not. Okay, cool. So what I'm gonna do is I can sustain 2 before I start having issues.
Right, one of them's a freebie.
Yeah, okay, 1 for free. I'm going to flip the coin. Okay. And I'm going to increase Ari's agility
Okay.
in case something that would require, say, an initiative or some form of agility check would come up in there.
Okay.
Okay. How much of a bonus does that give me?
I'm going to roll Dispel. Try to click through about six options. Okay, so I think I cast it. And
Resist
then
the drain.
I resist the drain, and then you get that point to big block of text.
Spell increase the attribute of voluntary subject. Physical, mental attribute, not for
great.
specials. Force must equal the augmented. We did a force 6, standard of those kind of things. So yeah, so it would be 3, and it can't increase it between augmented maximum, which I don't think Ari has any augmented stats, so probably is fine.
Yeah.
Just for everybody to note out there, if you want to know what your augmented is, it's 50% of your normal maximum that you have for whatever you are. So if you're a human that has 6s all down the board, except for edge, which is something else entirely, your augmented maximum is 9 without positive qualities.
Got it. Okay. I think, funny enough, I think I'm 1 below my maximum, meaning my maximum is 7, so it'd be yeah. I think my maximum is 10, so I'm good.
Okay, so you should be good. Yes.
And that brings
if
me
you're
up to 9. So
Ooh, and now I don't want to cast more spells, so I start rolling with sustained penalties.
yeah. Just to note, also
Honestly,
sustained penalties would be basically dice pool penalties for having.
Yeah, it's a
more.
-2 to me doing spells.
Yeah,
so.
that's rough.
I mean, it does mean that you can sustain a lot if you really want
Yeah.
to. You just start getting heavier penalties to that.
Yeah, it's -2 per sustained spell.
Yeah.
I see.
But still, having 2 ongoing that you can kind of throw out there is a good thing to do, because you can kind of get some easy things out there. So Ari's got a little bit buff in case needed, and the vehicle continues to be disguised. All right. So.
Yep.
The 2 of you head for the doors of the dancing brothel. Certainly speaking, the 2 guards that Alucard mentioned will kind of give you this kind of up and down look. These are, of course, one of them is this large human man, the other is an orcish man. Both of them basically giving you this, like, a side eye, certainly speaking, as you're approaching. You get that feeling, as with most of the time, you stand out as basically not feeling like you should be in this area, so yeah,
Naturally.
they're giving you like a look about it too.
The usual.
I mean, you are a foreigner deep outside of the territories that normally foreigners hang out at. There's usually a reason behind that, and they're giving you a look. The one of them will kind of hold out an arm across the door. And kind of like just start like, squinting at you a little bit. He'll then say something which you can tell isn't Igbo. You're pretty sure it's French. You really don't catch what it is unless one of you speaks French.
Nope.
Oh, no, I mean, I have my bug on him, so I picking up everything, and I can broadcast that. Do you have any kind of, with your comm, you have audio, right, Naomi?
Yeah.
I could, be broadcasting it.
I could attempt
audio.
a check to help translate it in real time.
Does Naomi speak French?
I do speak French.
Yeah.
Ah, that's impressive.
You don't want to know how many languages I speak.
Remember, Naomi's purposely learned French on the way over.
Oh, right.
I have 6 languages.
Damn.
So I could roll a French check to translate.
Sure.
Alright, let me roll this French check. Bam.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
Oh,
I'm gonna edge.
Sounds like a good plan there to edge that one there. The critical glitch.
Mother.
Yeah.
What can I say? It's French.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't want to speak it.
You
I
almost-
like it when your mother sits on my face.
They seem to be asking what brings them as foreigners here. Inquiring, basically, what the hell do you want?
I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. So you
When
get told-
choose.
Tell them to say tell them to add the same
When
parlez-vous
choose.
anglais.
tips fedora.
Yeah. Fine maidens are.
And I assume
No,
nobody bought a language soft other than Naomi, right?
Correct.
Not have
Wait.
language softs.
Wait. Well, the problem is language soft isn't what you think it is. A translation software is different.
Yeah, to be quite clear, I also learned French by listening to people speak French for 6 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, also,
Learned it
yeah,
via
it's
magic.
a translation software you could theoretically try to use, too, from there if you bought one of those things, too.
Yeah.
The language software probably for one.
You can tell them to say parlez-vous anglais. Do you speak English?
I'll just ask in English. Do you speak English?
The other one, who has been speaking to, be like, a little.
That's good enough.
What do you
We have been
want?
given a. We have been told we are have been given a pass by Slugger. Arranged a pass for us.
The one that spoke to you will kind of like look at you for a minute, kind of still giving that kind of. Now he was just kind of watching you. Now he's giving you that squint that the other one was for a minute. You're unsure if he's watching you directly, or there is also a little bit of maybe he's trying to translate what you're saying in his head, you know, because he doesn't seem to be very good at speaking English, you know, a little bit, tiny. He'll then kind of like knock on the door and kind of open it a little bit and yell inside something, and then kind of close the door behind him and kind of like look back to you. One moment.
I nod.
He'll kind of like turn towards the door for a minute, like as if he's listening in, and I'll kind of shake his head and go, kind of give you this kind of sign of like head inside. The other one will then like kind of look to his friend and kind of move his arm out of the way so you can get through it. Set of like double doors that kind of swing out a little bit, so they had to kind of crack it open a little bit to like kind of yell inside. But you kind of swing them open as then they make sure they close up behind you, and you enter into basically a little bit of a opening area where there does seem to be this like older woman behind a desk, a very small desk, who seems to be kind of like just kind of distracted and not looking. Looks like she's basically hanging around on her comlink, basically maybe doing something, watching something, reading something you're unsure of. But there is this basically very interesting orcish man who will kind of like look at you as you enter in there. He's actually very like thin and lithe and kind of looks a little flamboyant in this kind of vest and white shirt with a red tie, very nice pants. He looks very, you know, like very wonderful looking. He's incredibly handsome. Also, he is a very attractive looking orc man who is a little bit more of a lighter skinned man, still very, you know, African, but like kind of on the not like deep African, kind of like a lighter skinned African man, you know, for your shades of black, so to say. Anyway, so he'll kind of say, "Welcome. I heard of your arrival from Mr. Slugger, as they say. I am Mr. Smith, head of this fair establishment, such wonderful Oyoibo friends of the area boys. It is so welcoming to our fine establishment. We have many beautiful women of all shapes and sizes that would perhaps appeal to your so underutilized tastes in so many ways.
Probably would have thought about this ahead of time, but just trying to think about how to approach this.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
His name is Mr. Sneeze.
Mr. Smith.
first I'm gonna look around and see.
Oh, Sneeze.
And
Probably not his
kinda
actual
st-
name.
No, I mean
First I wanna-
obviously.
Yeah. First, like even as I'm walking in, I'd try and take a good look around to kind of see.
It's
if
a
there's anyone
fairly
else
like
here.
the entire area is painted this kind of like dark purple. There's some like plants around this area. It's hard to tell whether they're fake or not, kind of in this area. The light here is fairly well lit, but you can see there's kind of like a door kind of off to the side that leads out of here. One that's kind of right next to the woman in the kind of desk area, so the side of that, probably like where you would head into the back, where there's rooms and stuff like there. And then another door behind where the woman is, where it would probably go to more of offices and stuff like that there. You can see that there's an area you can kind of go around the desk. It's one of those like counter desks, so but it doesn't quite go all the way around, so it's kind of like curved over. It's got a flat in the front and around the side. There is a chair here, like a kind of like rough couch here, maybe for sitting around for a while. Seems a little not in great shape. Doesn't look like it's used for brothel related stuff necessarily, but doesn't look like it's very well maintained or used here. But it basically is a little bit of a waiting room kind of couch to one side here. There are a number of pieces of art on the wall which are simple things. They look like landscapes and stuff like this, perhaps the African coast or various areas of the wildlands around this area. Very simple things in this entire area. It's very nothing stands out very heavily. Everything feels very, as much as they are probably a well-known brothel, they keep things quaint, very nice looking. They don't advertise it very heavily. They don't maybe need to advertise it very heavily. So you don't see anything that stands out at you, of course.
Okay. Okay, what did they ask again?
He basically said he's got lots of kinds of women. Is there something particular you are looking for companionship?
Right, okay.
To release you from your tedious life as Oyobos who haven't been able to feel the greatness of our people. As he'll kind of like move over and kind of brush one of his hands against your face knocks, kind of like as kind of like looking you over and being like, with a few bit of time, you could be quite handsome. You are very pretty.
Oh, thank you.
And he's an orc?
Yes.
Oh.
Very skinny for an Igbo, very certainly speaking. Very, a little flamboyant, hard to say on that ends there too, but kind of carries himself as more of like a, he carries himself in a way that I would say that regardless of anything, he knows how to look good, and he is basically a person of beauty standards, he holds himself in a way that knowing what looks good. But you do also get a sense that there is a little bit of tone to his muscles there. Now, he's not a complete weakling, so maybe could still put up a little bit of a fight, but it's more tone rather than brute strength of a lot of the other people of the Igbo around here.
To be fair, Ari is probably the exact same way.
Yeah.
Well, I've always heard that when you visit a new establishment of this kind, that the most popular the girls that get the most attention from the clients tend to be the best.
Ah, these are things that are oftentimes true, but you do seem Oyobos that are well off, but I don't know if you're that well off, though. But certainly speaking, we could always talk about things. I do know a number of girls that were very high in regards in a lot of ways. There's one that is, I believe, free at this time that could be very welcome. She is wonderful, knows by delicious. Though, he'll also say something else. That is what she is known in Igbo, so if you would know it. But in English, delicious, for she is quite that. a very fine one, and perhaps within reason here too. You won't want to get yourself broken early. As he kind of looks over you too, he'll certainly like not looking at Nox, but looking at Ari. It's definitely like a looking at Ari like when he said that. You know.
Nox is nodding along. He's like, yeah. Ari's probably pretty fragile. That's a good point. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just
sorry. Background.
I
People
just
doing background stuff. I was getting distracted by people in the background.
Oh, okay.
Can't. I'm busy. Enjoy. The power of streamies. Anyway, so, he'll give his suggestions, and as he's kind of saying that, though, you'll hear a bit of noise coming from the door next to the desk. This, of course, not the door behind the desk. This is the one next to the desk, so probably the one where clients and stuff comes from. As the door kind of opens out, and you will see, like, a very beautiful woman basically kind of giving some goodbyes to this man who is walking out here, which he looks a little bit unusual. He doesn't look like a traditional Igbo man. It looks like, certainly speaking, he appears to have like African blood in him, but he doesn't look just African. Maybe someone of a mixed descent, which would probably be unusual in this area, but is a big port city, so you probably couldn't see outside of, you know, maybe someone got into a relationship with someone on a boat at some point in time, and boom, there you go. You never know on these kind of things. But he does still stand out in a lot of the people around here as he's kind of going around. Nox. Nox, is there a memory skill or something check? Roll me memory. Or recall.
Memory is a thing that exists, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's under the attribute rolls.
Alright, sorry. I was how to do it. My thing is taking a while to load. There we go. Memory.
So there's attributes and then there's attribute rolls below attributes.
Oh, there's attribute rules. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. Yeah.
I think it's
now I see it.
Yeah.
No modifiers.
Okay.
3 successes.
So, this guy looks very familiar. You feel as though you've seen him somewhere before, but you just can't place where. And it's not like we've seen him in the city. You're pretty sure you saw him somewhere in Seattle, which is weird, you know? Kind of feels like a small world for a second. Anyway, as he kind of turns around, he said something. You think it's an Igbo, but it also sounds like a horrific accent. You know, like he's not really good at saying anything about it. And then he kind of like looks towards the two of you and just switches his eyes over as he looks straight at you, Nox, and goes, "You, you."
Give him like a sharp nod. Sup, big dog?
I should have known you would come here to disrupt my homeland. You.
I'm sorry, did I like break your arms at some point? Who are you?
Where's you and your little monkey friend?
Who? I'm like,
you screwed me out of my job. Sir, please calm down. Please calm down.
Do we know that guy?
Don't you remember me? I'm Honky Tonk, the best at what I do in all of Seattle. I came here to my homeland to connect with my people. And now you've come here to disrupt it.
What, a guy isn't entitled to a little vacation every once in a while? Come on, man. We're not on the job right now. You don't gotta be, like,
sir,
an asshole.
Please calm yourself down. Head out. These folks are here at jobs too. If you have a problem with them, meet them afterwards.
Huh?
They'll kind of like squint at you and be like, yeah, maybe I will. As he'll head outside.
Do I recognize this voice? I'm still under
right. There's no video.
Give me a memory check. Let's see how well you roll.
I mean, if it means that much to you, I'll be out of here in a couple hours. I can meet you in the back, and we can like
it might be familiar, but it's like one of those things. It's like it's in passing, and none of what he talks about sounds familiar. Like you don't remember screwing a guy out of something. Yeah. Neither of you actually remember screwing this guy out of anything, but apparently he thinks you did. At very least, it seems like.
I mean, it's possible we could have, but who fucking cares?
But he specifically is mentioning you and Alucard.
Oh yeah, that is a good point.
Bro's gonna come open up this van and get absolutely shredded.
He doesn't see a van. It's a truck.
Slides the door open and Naomi has a fucking hand cannon pointed at him.
I do have the question of you got 6 successes. Is that how much it's masked against checking, though?
I believe so.
Okay.
Physical conditions. Oh, that's something else.
Just as a curiosity.
Unfortunately, let me look up the signature rules in the book really fast.
Yeah, because it raises the vehicle.
This is page 180.
What executes the movement is different visual with the same sign.
So much stuff.
Each net hit score that the caster used to raise over the signature modifier by 1.
Okay,
Honky Tonk is such a funny name.
He does have this kind of talk to him when he had like talks that sounds like he kind of like almost honks a little bit in his words, though. You kind of notice that maybe that's where he gets it from, his nickname, you know.
I mean that's fair, but it's just so funny. I mean, yeah, I'll tell him though. I'll be out of here in like maybe a couple hours. Like, if you want, I can meet you out in the back and we can like hit each other for a little bit.
I don't want to punch you. I want justice. Pay me back for all the lost money and get the heck out of my homeland.
Okay, so if you would attempt to, I'm going to use Pathinder term, roll to disbelieve. You would have to roll a spell check versus 6 successes.
Okay, so pretty difficult to roll. Yeah. Gotcha. Cool.
I had to find a forum post on this because this information is not in the book.
Really?
Nope.
It might be one of the major.
Probably is somewhere.
It's probably talked about very.
This is another Shadowrun-ism where it's a rule nested in like 80 pages.
Or it's in a different book.
Yeah, of just lore of like animated Subway sandwiches or something.
Because the signature thing is relating to drone stuff, but there's a visual effect.
Well, okay, so
there's magical effects too.
Here's the thing about signature. I'm skimming through the book, searching for the word signature, and you have astral signature, thermal signature. There's so many different types of signatures.
So these signature rules are specifically on page 184.
Yeah.
What that does is I basically give it a modifier of 1 to make it harder to identify via its signature.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So, that man's outside at very least. If let me know if anybody in the van wants to keep an eye on what's going on as he heads outside, but otherwise he'll just be out
My
there.
My van has cameras, so.
Okay. You can probably check and see that he's hanging around the front door. He seems to be chatting up the 2 guys out there while kind of standing around the side. It looks like he's just kind of like kicking around the area. Kind of like, he looks a little piffed and stuff like that. Kind of like, talking to himself probably.
I mean, he can cry more.
Kicking rocks.
Looking down, hands in his pockets. Oh, geez. I'm gonna talk into the bug. Like, Alucard, do you know that guy?
I didn't see him. I don't quite place the voice.
Nah. No. Probably
Again,
nobody.
The voice sounded familiar, like you heard it somewhere because it's very unique.
I'm saying. I don't quite place it. I'm not
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very distinctive voice, but this guy's also just... he feels very, like, one note.
Yeah, I would basically describe, if you get a good view of him, because you did, he looks probably like, from his nationality, some kind of Asian nationality, some kind of African nationality mixed together.
And he's human, you said?
He looks human, yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Again, judgingly speaking, I can't say 100% because there are other things that look human, and sometimes some orcs and elves look very human too, and it's hard to notice. But just at a quick glance, he looks human.
Fair enough.
So,
let's keep that in the old noggin for later.
I see him now, I guess.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Again, like, I guess you can roll again on your memory. Maybe you can roll better. You get another chance. You got a good view of him now.
I don't know how much we actually care about this guy.
Probably not very. He seems just as recognizable as before. Yeah.
Nah.
Probably not very, but that's just in case he doesn't cause any problems. You know, he is hanging out.
Yeah, true. He could always cause some bullshit for us, but Nox isn't worried.
To get out of there and.
Yeah, Nox knows that like if anything happens, he can just like shove him in a locker or give him a wedgie. Nox generally
he
isn't
did feel
perturbed by
very
anyone.
nerd. I'm not going to lie. He felt very nerd. He looks maybe a little more like the scrawny side, like Ari or something like that. So not like completely weak, but also like more probably toned than actually threatening. You know, like they're not big, not mean looking. You know.
Nox generally doesn't get threatened by someone either shorter or thinner than him. He's like, yeah, I could probably give you a swirly. You're not a problem.
Anyway. Apologies about that. It seems as though very interesting and very small world from everything that was said there. I guess you two know each other.
Maybe. I mean, you'd think you'd recognize a voice like that, but no, man. I guess maybe
one. Please do be careful. He's been making some waves around here. No offense to you, it does seem as though it is a little bit of a one-sided thing, but it does seem like he believes he has some ancestors from this region, has not been able to find any of his relatives yet, but I wished him luck, and he does seem very nice here with, looking after the various things here. Technically, I believe he was here to, not to spread rumors, but since, you seem much more reasonable than he did. Again, you presented yourself very nicely, didn't get into a fight here with him. I believe he thinks that maybe one of the girls here might be either related or knows something about his mother. Perhaps he thinks that she worked here for a while before perhaps moving to wherever he came from. I think it was maybe somewhere in America or Asia, I'm not quite sure.
Oh, Seattle, actually.
Oh. Small world then. Well, as I was saying, Miss Delicious, she is quite wonderful and would be a wonderful night. Now, will you be sharing Miss Delicious, or shall I arrange 2 girls, one for each of you?
I don't know. Typically, I'm not down with, well, I don't know. What do you think, Ari? Because I don't want to fuck up the plan too much by speaking out of my ass.
Look, just say no homo afterwards and it's fine, guys. You can do
You're
it.
so right. Hold on. Is Ari wearing socks? Nox is.
It's like our is just like, it's about time to let you know I'm gay.
Yeah, well, we're undercover. It's for the plan, Ari.
I'll manage.
So, what, you fine with Sharon, or?
Let's go with separate.
Fair enough.
Well, you'll have to wait a little. Well, which one of you wishes to go with Miss Delicious? The other will have to wait a little bit here.
Understood.
Apologies, but we are a little busy at this time of day.
It's all right.
Please
I'll let you go
before you do anything.
I'll let you go first.
I will be professional when I'm on the job.
Exactly. I don't want to see you on the job.
That's fair.
But no, that by the way, that wasn't entirely. Ari is actually gay.
No, that's fair, but
It's
mission.
So that's why I thought it was kind of funny that I'm like, I realize might be a problem. So I'll let you go first.
That's fair.
Might have wanted to mention that, before
Hey,
you got into
unfortunately,
Honestly-
you happen to take Ari, who's into men, and not Naomi, who's into women.
Yeah, but if you came in here, then it would have been a whole different.
Yeah.
We really just have an unlucky composition for this.
You don't
You really do.
Damn it!
We needed Alucard in here.
It might have been even more of a problem with Alucard in here.
Why couldn't we
Hey,
structure
wanna
our
see what I
party
can do with my
around
tail?
going into a fucking brothel, dude? Come on, man. Damn it.
Anyway, honestly, this will be good because this will let me sit around and watch like who might come in and out. Because I presume the delicious is not who we want.
Well, we don't know. We don't know who the
Yeah.
who the girl is.
You do not know who
You can interrogate the
Silence is
girl, and
interested
I'll keep an eye
I
out
can
for
try because we know the guy's name is Shimmer, right?
in. Silence.
Silent.
Silence. Sorry, Shimmer was a different guy.
Shimmer was the guy who gave who we
Oh.
corpo guy who we met.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got the S's confused. Yeah. We know the guy's name is Silence, so I can try.
Yeah,
But I'm
I mean,
not a
if
subtle person. I'll give it a shot.
that's the thing, though. I feel like it should be fine not being subtle with her. Whereas I can keep an eye out for potentially like if he comes in or something. So.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, true.
That's why I'm thinking like I can keep an eye out while you potentially talk to the girl. You know.
Yeah, that makes sense then.
I know. You know.
Yeah, I'll go
Also, it'll
first.
be less awkward for Ari.
Yep. Well, for now, because they're looking for someone for you. So they will be
Yeah,
back.
true.
All right. Then
For what special?
basically, Mr. Smith will excuse himself as the lady behind the counter will call for Delicious to come and get you, Knox, as you'll be then taken back into the room. Why don't we take our break before we figure out what's going on with Knox then?
Yeah.
As this is a good point in time to do so.
Give like Ari a thumbs up as I'm walking away. Got this.
No, I was thinking that whole time. Just please let me out before you go.
Yeah. Comes out 5 minutes later. Wait, I had a mission I had to do.
But yes. So if anybody
At least
needs,
give him 6 minutes. I think he has at least that much stamina.
true. So if you need a drink, snack, or bathroom break, go ahead and do them, and we'll be back in a little bit to continue the brothel-based adventures because it's hilarious in many ways. So yeah, God, this is basically...
It's the horizontal mambo.
All right, hi everybody, we're back for the horizontal mambo. That's what we're entering in on apparently. But yeah,
Mambo number 5.
so if you were missed what we just did there at the brothel, we're about to have good old Knox go in and enjoy the company of Miss Delicious, or just Delicious, depending on what you want to call her.
Miss Nasty. Miss Jackson if you're nasty.
She is a incredibly beautiful ebony-skinned orcish woman with this kind of white hair that maybe it's colored, but it is up in this incredibly beautiful style with this kind of very skimpy dress. She's incredibly attractive and kind of just almost kind of leads you by the chin a little bit back to one of the rooms in the entire area. Back through a hallway of a lot of closed doors and various noises you can hear from certain rooms to a degree. Most of the rooms tend to be a little bit of like, probably soundproof to a degree, but certainly speaking, the doors aren't that. The doors don't block sound as well. So it's kind of like hearing here and there occasionally, depending also how loud whatever's going on in there. You pick up little bits of what's going on in the rooms as you walk by.
Just
Release the
remember to let
drone.
me out.
No. No,
I will
there's no
just
escape for
fly
you.
out of your hoods here.
You could just
No, I
enjoy.
need you there because I don't know what questions to ask.
You have comms. We can speak in your ear.
No, you
Yeah,
must
but
remain
that's
with
less funny.
me. You must remain with me. That's
leave me.
No, you're gonna go have stew. I do not need to be a part
Oh.
But yes, she'll lead you back to past a number of rooms to a room with a door that's open. You do see there's a number of doors that are open, so you assume those are ones that either maybe the room's being cleaned out, or maybe there's a person waiting for someone, or even the case of someone that is, leaving or something like that, or maybe someone waiting for someone new to come in here, certainly speaking. But she'll lead you to a room, and I'm just gonna say it's a very quintessential. It's a brothel room. I don't have to go into description about it. It's the kind of place you'd find in a brothel. Though again, this feels like a brothel from like our time period, rather than so it definitely has an olden times feel to it. Because we are in the like late 20s here in Shadowrun world, so it's like there's a level of the entire thing that feels to a degree decades out of date, but maybe it's also just something kind of simple and doesn't need to be changed to a degree too. But there's various tools and objects in here for various uses that you might ask for. Of course, a number of different things like some drinks and stuff that you could there's of course the possibility of ordering certain things like drinks and some maybe kind of like bits of basically aphrodisiac foods, a number of other various tools and things around the room, and of course a very nice bed with very silken sheets there too, which have hopefully been changed out recently. You can't tell 100% because again, hard to tell. Everything has just a little bit of age to it. In a very, very bad English accent, she'll basically say, "So how can I help you?" As she kind of like gives your a stroke over your chin. "Big boy, I hope you don't break easy."
What? Fucking better.
I'm in danger.
Yeah. I'm in danger. Well, before, oh God, what the fuck do I say?
Why are you asking me?
Look for help.
What? I am not the charismatic one. Ask Naomi.
Naomi, how do I talk to women? Help. I'm like talking into. I grab my my hoodie collar and like hold it up to my mouth.
He's talking to his hoodie. So he's just standing in front of a woman talking to his hoodie.
Let me out of your hoodie before you enter the room, sir.
No, what do I say?
You have a comm unit. I'm sure you have an earbuds or something.
No, I can afford those.
Don't need to speak into my drone.
I'm panicking. What do you want from me?
Oh God.
Have you never laid with a lady?
No.
Oh no! Just tell me all this information. Oh, how awkward.
Maybe some of this should have been
Yeah, maybe there should have been some discussion.
Let's see. The gay guy, the virgin,
Oh my God!
Head into the brothel.
I thought we'd find the guy first.
Okay.
Seems like I must educate you then. All right, well,
enjoy your time.
The buzz function. I smashed the drone.
No!
No, I'm kidding.
Expensive.
Mosquitoes? Are mosquitoes really that expensive?
Probably.
Noise.
They ain't cheap. They ain't cheap,
Uh,
I'll tell you that much.
I mean, they're like $2,000, I think.
Oh, well, that's...
As much as your house costs.
Yeah, that's
wait.
literally more than Nox's,
I mean,
than Nox is
drones
worth.
in general
See
are
this one?
not cheap.
That's like my rent, dude.
Yeah, the drone itself is $2,000. Plus,
Jesus.
I have stuff in there too. So.
Oh wait, yeah, that's a really good point.
So, I can't help but feel I'm very silly person because I have now turned on the music that I said that I used for preparing for action.
Oh, Nox
Wow.
grabs the lady by the leg and slams her against the wall. No, I'm kidding.
I don't think you're doing that to an orc woman.
Oh, I think she's a lot stronger than you.
Can I roll strength? I'm kidding.
I don't know how. I don't know. How
I
can
don't
help
think
you
we
in
need to
this
roll for
situation,
snoo, but
good luck. No.
we'll basically say like, other than you being taught and led on by a very skilled orcish prostitute and learning many things about yourself this day.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
What else do you want out of this at this point in time? Like, what is the path we're going to be taking? Because you're looking for
I'm
information.
trying
Let
to
my drone out.
Well, yeah.
I feel like your drone has not been let out.
You're not going anywhere. If I have to be uncomfortable, so
Otherwise,
do
I would
you.
have just flew out of your hoodie before you entered the room.
No, that's fair. Yeah, I would have let you out because the whole plan was for you to go around the whole brothel.
Yes. That's what I'm just making sure since you
No,
have
no,
an
no.
extra
I know.
step.
I was just messing with you.
Being a little goofy.
I'm trying to think of how I could possibly question this lady without coming off as weird or prying. Fuck it. Hey, do you know a guy named Silence? Like after all is said and done.
I mean, that's a way to ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck it, I'm not-
By the way, do you know a guy named Silence?
Nox isn't fucking subtle. Also, yeah, he actually probably would be smoking now. Fucking Naomi got him on cigarettes.
Mhm. Okay. Why do you ask?
Yeah.
Shit, how do I respond to
get
that?
this far.
Fuck.
Mhm.
Well, you know, I was just curious. You know, I heard a lot about the guy and thought he'd be pretty interesting to meet. You know, yeah, you know, who doesn't want connections, friends?
It is quite
stuff?
unusual for Oyobu like yourself to be in this area. And certainly speaking, I can see why, as she kind of like puts her hands over your shoulder again and kind of has them go down your back, you know, very essentially, you know,
No,
why,
fucking shivers, you know, just getting immersed in the culture.
why, the men around here have taken interest in you. You
What
are
can I say? Get
more.
around.
You are tougher than your average Oyobu. Certainly speaking, you didn't break much.
Thanks, I try. I like pat my arm. You know,
So
long.
you've only suffered a couple of broken bones.
You know, long hard days in the pits. You know, I make, you know, back in Seattle where I live, I make most of my money by getting into fights.
I'm sure
Yeah,
that you
I'm
could arrange
something
for
of
some
a-
of the area boys to have such competitions. I think they have things like that if you are interested. I'd go to their compound and ask.
I mean, I'm already good friends with someone. Probably not the ones around here, but Slugger's a good guy. I know him.
Those who recognize the name.
No,
Not
that's
many in
fair.
the city, though,
I mean, obviously, there's a fucking ton of area boys.
Mhm.
I feel like it'd be weird if she
And
knew,
he's
like, him
trying
in
to get
particular.
up the ladder, so.
Yeah, well, he also said, hey, spread my name around. I'm doing him a favor.
Yeah. Again, he's also like, you know, like 13, 14, so
Yeah,
He
obviously, yeah.
He leads a child gang.
he does lead a
Yeah.
child gang.
It really is just a gang of children.
I do see him at one point in time just basically earning some money and coming here, though, you know, as a way to prove himself. You know, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure one of these days, you know,
And then he died.
then he
Yeah.
died.
And then
His
he
attempts to
died.
become
I am truly
changed from
man.
I'm truly a man
Fucking
now.
snapped in half. Yeah, I'm something of a big shot. Not obviously lying. But you know, just interested if you ever heard of anyone like that. I'm always
Many
trying to meet new
names come
people,
and
make
go
new friends.
from the area here. Certainly speaking, I don't know why there would be a necessary reason to talk about plenty of these people.
Tell me, what do I say?
You're talking to your hoodie again.
talking to the hoodie again.
There's nothing in it.
Yeah, the hoodie's empty now. You let the drone out.
No.
Where'd you go? No, no,
Buzzing
my,
around now.
You still have comms.
Been abandoned.
my hoodie. No.
Fuck. Please, it's all I own.
Offer her a bribe.
Yeah. No, I mean that was probably the next step. I'll like reach over into my my wallet, pull out some Huala tokens. Oh, just feel like there's lots of interesting people around here. Always just wanna, there's nothing wrong with meeting new people,
True. As she'll kind of slide them away from you and go over to like a nightstand and kind of open it up and put them in here. But certainly speaking, I would have had to know why you're looking for such individuals and stuff too. Just so that I know that there isn't going to be any kind of problem that I'll have to worry about. As much as we are perhaps not treated the best around here, I do try to make sure me and the rest of the girls stay relatively safe. Most, well, usually have a little bit more skill and a little bit more rough-handed than you, but not always a bad thing.
Damn. I mean, that's reasonable. I assure you it's for nothing violent or strange.
Let's be real, Nox wants to challenge him to a fist fight.
Yeah. But I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to be like, yeah, can you tell me where I can find him so I can, like, give him a wedgie?
Oh, Reggie.
Shove him into a locker.
Call him a nerd. Give him a noogie. Put him in a little headlock. It's, it is business. Unfortunately, it's no details I can really share with you. Not that I wouldn't, not that I don't want to. You're a very nice lady.
Come now. I'm very trustworthy. You can let me know everything that you need. Do not worry.
I don't know how much I want to reveal.
I mean, I don't know if I can help you.
Yeah, this is...
Perhaps
Unless
we
you
can
make a phone
spend a little bit
call.
more time together and you can see how trustworthy I am.
You're gonna, yeah, this man's leaving with no bones intact.
Well, as fun as that does sound, and don't get me wrong, I've had a great time. I am on a bit of a crunch here. Don't get me wrong, I will be returning, but it's I need him for a job, basically. And while I am very skilled and very strong, there's only so much I can do, My skill set's not very... My skill set ranges from running really quickly to punching nerds. It's not a very wide skill set,
I've not heard this term nerd, but I assume that they are quite dangerous things for you to be punching with these big muscles that you have.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a Seattle thing. There's lots of them around there. I actually know a couple. One of them's out in the lobby.
How dangerous sounding. Assuming you need someone for such dangerous things. But you'd be here in the city for more than business, or a different kind of business. You do seem like the type.
What are you typing? I see you typing. Nerd.
Oh yeah.
I would like to fly through the wall and obliterate all of them.
Senses a nerd nearby.
Your nerd senses are tingling.
Someone's using their brain cells near.
I literally have the skills business and math.
the dweeb, the 5G nerd waves. I can sense them through the wall and fucking fly through.
Punch. All muscles go towards.
I mean, I'm here for all kind of business. All kinds of business. And surely you hear things around here.
Oh, I hear plenty of things around here. There's plenty of stuff going on, certainly speaking. So much business going on. Things have been so frightful lately. Fortunately, here is nice and peaceful. We don't have to worry about any of the violent things going on. Many of the area boys are a little fired up by some angry neighbors.
Yeah, I can imagine. If only we had some kind of devices that phone call. Yeah, you'd think so, right? Unfortunately,
wacky.
Unfortunately, we don't live in an era with cellular access. What a shame.
Kind of
what a shame.
That's nerd shit. I don't have that.
That's nerd shit. The fuck? I'm poor. I can't afford phones and comm links.
You're still using an iPhone 15.
You're like the person with the rotary phone still on the wall.
I was gonna say, if it's an iPhone 15, I don't think it works anymore.
Oh yeah, that's a really good point.
Nah, it's one of those like refurbished retro models. You know, like people can refurbish it.
Oh yeah.
But does it allow me to watch my Trivios on it? No. Damn it. If you get something called the internet, what the hell's that? That doesn't sound like the Matrix.
we got dial-up here or something? Y'all know what MapQuest is? No. Damn, she's not cracking. I am gonna tap my comm link now. Naomi, help. Naomi, I don't know how to talk to women.
Oh my god.
I can't get any information out of her. Help me. She's using language I don't understand.
I guess could you put me on a speaker or some shit?
Yeah.
And be like, hey, a friend is better at talking about this stuff than I am.
I'm gonna be like, hey, I don't think I'm getting my point across. Do you mind if I could like call my friend and have her explain it better? She's a lot.
She's gonna try to raise her eyebrow a little bit and kind of like, you know, kind of give you kind of a look and be like, and kind of give a hand signal that's kind of like a go ahead.
Nothing. It's not like that. I promise.
She wants to
I think she would kill me if I said
that. As much as I'm sure I'm convincing you to the contrary, I'm very stupid. So I like grab my comm link and hand it to her.
Oh god.
I'll
you have a nice friend here. I've taught him many things. He is no longer a boy, but now a man.
I trust you left him with a few bones intact.
So
She's gonna kind of look up at you. Only a few. Certainly where it's important.
It's good enough.
Good enough. Yeah, he can still get the job done. Fuck it.
But I take it this is a lot less about the future business and current business.
Yes. This guy's name was what, like Shadow, right? Or Silence.
There's a lot of S's.
There is a lot. Yes, we need this Silence individual. Because he has upset a rather powerful person who we would prefer not send forces into the city and start a war.
Does seem very dangerous. He's upset certain individuals. But, what would be the point of allowing this to happen? Is he a known individual? What kind of danger are we really in?
He has stolen an artifact from a very powerful person. Not anything of true value, but of cultural significance.
Ah. Well. Interesting. Interesting, to say the least. There were rumors going around of plenty of things. So what? You're on recovery duty?
I need him as leverage.
Well, certainly speaking, it's not impossible for me to say a man that goes by that name and possible description may show up here from time to time, and I may know which girls would be very important for him to meet with. Of course, it is lucky that I was the one that your little friend ended up with. I'm a little bit more trusted around here and a little bit more in charge, though Mr. Smith wouldn't admit to it. Your average girl might be listened in on. So, we could possibly find a deal, but I'll need some help from you folks here. You do seem... As she's eyeing up Nox, capable enough. I might have the information you need, and might be able to assist you.
I'm listening.
Well, you see, as much as things are pleasant here, they traditionally aren't in the long run. And, well, if there's a possibility of some assistance getting me and my girls out of here.
I believe
What from
that can...
Seattle?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
That sounds like a very nice place to move to.
I got bad news. No, I'm kidding.
It probably is better than here.
It's a marginal
for women.
upgrade. There's no
It could be
choice.
worse. It could be Pittsburgh.
That's true. Could be Pittsburgh.
It's the pits.
I believe that could be arranged.
The man that goes by Silence is indeed someone that stops by here.
Did she wait real fast? Did she say she wanted her and her girls moved to Seattle?
Yes,
or
yes.
just-
she basically wants
Yeah,
you to get
all of
all the
them.
prostitutes out. That are
Yeah,
here
because you
currently.
know this is like a good place.
Oh no,
No.
100%.
No, this
No,
place
I just
is
missed if it was-
awful.
Yeah,
I just couldn't-
she basically sees an opportunity. She tends to be probably... You get the sense that she's probably like the third in charge here. You assume the lady behind the counter is probably the current madam who's under Mr. Smith, who's the man that runs this entire place. Delicious is probably the head prostitute here, and as much as she's in quotation loyal, she's also probably opportunistic and kind of sees some things going on here that she senses that, you know, I'll basically summarize what she knows. She knows that Silence comes here. She can reveal to you that there is a certain girl that Silence likes. She can also reveal that she's provided some information from that girl to Delicious here, basically from bedroom talk. She'll reveal that Silence has come into some money because he basically did a mission. She's assuming it's the one you're talking about. And she can put the things together of the big Eurobin theft. It's probably what Silence is behind. She can also reveal to you that he doesn't have the statue anymore.
Oh,
Yes.
well, that's not good.
Uzochi, I'm gonna put this name in chat here if I can spell this correctly. I'm gonna give me a second here to this name into chat here. Sorry. I'm copying it to a couple places because I don't have the pop-out chat's still not working, so I have it in. So I'm just copying it over
Nice.
the notes anyway too. That man here, whose name I will horrifically butcher. Basically, he's best described as an Igboan elder. Has good control of it. She doesn't know what's happened after there, but Silence has given it there. At very least, has dropped that item off and has gotten his pay. You might want to talk to Silence more to get more information about that, But at least if you're negotiating with him or doing something of the such, you got information that he doesn't know you know. It's leverage.
Yeah.
She might be able to help with you capturing him, but she would want it to be arranged in the same time. So basically that's what she's counting the offer.
Okay.
He theoretically will show up probably about 5 or 6 hours from now.
Oh, that's actually kind of somewhat soon.
Yes. Well, consider that you are in the kind of evening. He shows up late at night, basically.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's like an overnight kind of stay. And you're kind of showing up in the early end of the brothel's active hours. Not that it's not active all day, but like, most of the time it's probably evenings, overnight, and maybe even to the early mornings that people show up there, generally speaking.
I mean, we literally had the time slot of 1 a.m. to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he'll be showing up kind of like early morning-ish. He normally shows up. Basically, you get the sense that she'll basically describe it. He likes a little bit of a morning pick-me-up.
See.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, you can arrange something within that time period. When you come for him, we can help. I don't know how you're going to get back in here unless you arrange for another stop, which isn't impossible. But maybe tip a little. Smith likes a good tip.
Okay. Right.
Then again, Smith likes a lot of it. She'll chuckle to herself
Alright,
about
give
it.
him your tip.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's fair.
So the orc at the front's name is Smith. I don't think
Mr.
we got
Smith.
Yeah, Mr. Smith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Smith.
Yeah, that's what he told us. Or, well, he said it weird because of his accent. He was like Mr.
Mrs.
But it is
Oh.
Mr. Smith.
He has a kind of, his English accent's a little weird, because again, it's probably not, it's probably like a third language, He probably knows all the basic languages, because as much as, yes, they primarily serve Igbo here, there's probably a number of other tribal people and probably some people that they do well with in business that occasionally come here. It is unusual, as you kind of learned, it's unusual but not unheard of for possibly Oyobos such as yourself to come here. More than likely it would be like, maybe trying to bribe some kind of corporate interest for some kind of power in the entire area over the Yorobans or something like that, that you might bring someone in here for a little good time to kind of, sweeten the deal or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, something that's important. How many girls are there that we need to get out?
Yeah,
that
that's
is
the,
different.
Yeah.
The smuggling costs and
Yes.
such.
There are 10 girls here.
Okay.
That's all right. It's not as bad as I thought it would be.
So they can fit
I
in the
can
van.
talk to my...
Can the van fit 10 people?
Probably.
I-
Maybe a
how
little
big's the
tight,
van?
but
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Technically, you would need...
Might have to put a dog on the roof now.
you also have to get a silence in there, theoretically.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I
And
mean, we could
us.
strap him to the top.
Do that, strap him underneath.
And just hope he survives. I think that's agreeable.
Think of my smuggler compartment.
Excellent. Is there anything else you want me to teach this
Oh,
boy?
one more question.
Make
Does
him even
the 10
more of a
include
man.
delicious?
Yes,
What's
I
that?
would include
I assume she wants to
Okay.
leave, yeah.
yes.
Well,
No,
I'm
yeah.
just wondering if, in counting it, there.
Oh,
Oh,
is it
okay.
10 including her or 11
including
because
her.
it's 10 other girls?
10 including her.
Okay.
Yes. There are currently 10 active girls here.
Oh, gotcha.
And while she doesn't necessarily like the system to continue and probably can't do much else to stop it, she would rather save her and her girls now because it's what she can work with now,
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Not to say the cycle won't unfortunately continue in this area
Yeah.
for now. Unfortunate. But yes.
Okay. Funny enough, I can help in this a little bit.
Ooh, fun.
Also, she might be able to use the
I know.
cover of you guys capturing Silence as also cover for while they got out. So in the future, it won't necessarily mean anything bad for anybody that's replacing them. more than normal. You know, you capture the guy and a bunch of the prostitutes. You know, sorry, guests, escorts. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The van technically seats 7.
Could definitely squeeze more people.
Well,
in
is
there,
that
right?
7 like comfortably? Because like some
That would
normal
assume-
cars.
Seats it has.
That's how many
Oh,
seats it
okay.
has.
Oh, yeah, you can definitely fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fitting
Have you
more
ever seen
people.
those
Yes.
Indian buses that are like way overpacked.
Yeah.
So, we'll kind of turn back a little bit, but not quite back time, to, of course, start with a mosquito drone. What would the mosquito drone be doing? You were going to scout out this area?
Yeah, I was gonna see about like, if is there a gap between like the bottom of the door? And,
Oh, sure. You can definitely squeeze in between the doors. None of them. As I
okay, so
said,
I
they're
probably
not-
would be like. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
as much as the rooms themselves seem a little bit soundproof, as I said, the doors aren't really well made for that, and so, like, you can kind of notice some things going on there. So, certainly speaking, a little drone squeezing under the doors is possible there, too.
Yeah, so I'd probably start, like, squeezing into rooms and getting visuals.
Sure. Why don't you give me your
Enjoy.
perception check there, or the
Good
proper
lord.
drone check here, and we'll see what kind of amazing things you see along the way.
Yeah, I'm looking for the guy, but the only way that, like, I don't know he's not here yet, so...
Yep.
Yeah, that's
The
fair.
thing is, if I see anyone else of importance, I could take, I could get bid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can start taking pictures and stuff.
Just a peeping Tom over here.
What do you want from me? How else am I going to look around trying to find?
That's fair.
Oh yeah. And yeah. Okay. Cool. So you'll be able to kind of give it a sight of things. You'll get a general layout of the entire place, which is probably very helpful. You know where kind of all the various doors are and kind of stuff like that, and the rooms are kind of positioned. It seems to be about a dozen. From looking at them, rooms for various women. You do kind of count that there are a few rooms that seem to be currently not being used at this point in time. All of them have very similar things, but some of them have a little bit of differences here and there. Some of them seem to be a little bit more. There does seem to be this particular woman in like this like kind of red dominatrix outfit that probably does a lot of that kind of stuff there too. You know, so they do kind of go to a lot of different things here too, to a degree. But specializations, and you'll get a kind of you'll kind of get a sign of everything, though. We'll say.
I
So.
did also want to check out where that exit door is and
Yeah.
get a bead on that too.
You can kind of see the exit door. It's kind of at the back of the general hall that you kind of leads through most of the room here. So like it's zoomed down like the center of this building as we're kind of showing here. There's like a main hallway that goes down it with doors off to the sides for most of it, and kind of like a side area that leads over here, and then the door kind of ends over here, which does seem to be more of like a fire door, though it does seem to have particularly kind of like stuff like alarms and stuff on that door, as you kind of see. So definitely,
That's what I was going to ask about too. Is
It's-
alarm?
it is obvious enough. So the door doesn't seem sealed, but it seems obvious enough that, certainly speaking, none of the girls are probably going to try to go out there because they know about it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not an escape route for them, unfortunately. It's kind of like it's probably kind of mean to have it there because it's like, they're probably honestly not allowed to leave here at all.
It's probably there for like a fire.
Yeah. Where someone
Well,
would
it's there for
accompany them.
fire code rather than for an act.
Well, there really isn't like fire code. Again, this building's kind of old, so you assume maybe the fire code for when this
What's
building was originally
the-
built, but they really don't care
Yeah,
about
what-
it much now.
It's just sorry, you're just doing the fucking Simpson meme. I know this lesbian bar doesn't have a fire exit.
It's actually just a painted on doors.
But anyway, we turn back to Wyrm. Wyrm, Ari, you were sitting around in the basically in the entranceway on the. I guess were you just standing around, or were we sitting on the couch?
I'll sit on the couch.
It's kind of yucky, but it's not only not the worst thing that you've encountered, ever.
Is he yucky?
It feels like it's like a very old and ratty couch. Not like, it's been used in a brothel couch, but it's been like, sitting here and not really well maintained kind of couch, and not really probably like decently cleaned off, ever. So of everything here, it seems like, probably the least clean that you've seen. Granted, like, they probably don't hose down everything around this place, so it's relatively nice. We'll call it relatively. Anyway, after sitting there for a while, Mr. Smith will come back out.
Would try and... Oh, would he have... Did he leave?
No, he went into the back offices and left you with the old lady behind the desk.
Oh, and there's a lady there. Okay.
Yes. She kind of is watching the front, basically. She seems to probably be the normal person for checking people in or things like that, or arranging stuff, maybe even arranging payments. But she does seem distracted on her comlink, But again, probably paying enough attention to you.
Okay. Well, okay, so I'll ask her, because this thing, I'll be like, so does that, so that honky-tonk guy, has he been here often?
She'll kind of like, you'll see kind of her head turn a little bit, kind of glance towards you, and then get back to what she's doing and not answer your question.
Was it a, I don't understand you, I don't want to talk to you, or like...
We don't talk about things.
Yeah, or
You
I'm
really
not...
can't tell. She didn't like, she only kind of like did like a side-eye glance towards you, just to like acknowledge that you were talking to her, and then just started ignoring you again. Could be any of those.
A very friendly, welcoming environment.
Well, these places do like their anonymity for their clients.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but I'm still just kind of trying to strike up conversation to get something going, to try and get more information. So.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying that might be why she's just like,
Yep.
Not engaging.
How many girls do you have here?
She's gonna like sigh deeply and pull out something that and put it down on the desk next to her. Yeah, it's basically like a menu that kind of gives you a AR image of the various women that you kind of see, along with some information about them that seems to be basically specialties, skills, things like that. It feels a little grody the way it's being
I don't think I've
displayed
ever
here.
gotten this much ick from a tabletop RPG session
Yeah.
than I have today.
This is like, you get the sense of why this place isn't a great place. This is the essence of the ick of this place, and you just have it pushed in front of you.
This whole fucking country sucks, dude. This place sucks.
Well,
I
the
don't wanna
city.
live here
I mean,
you have made friends.
We've only been to this one place.
And you've also made
that's
friends with the one group of people that are probably the worst people in the town.
Friends is
Yeah.
a very strong word.
Well, Slugger thinks you're friends.
Yeah,
Well,
Slugger loves you
Slugger
guys.
is also a stupid kid.
Yeah.
I'll probably end up beating him up sometime during this.
I mean, I'll pretend to look it over.
Okay. All right. But after a little while, Mr. Smith will come back out. Apologies for the wait. I do have someone open that can have spend a little time. I don't know if you'll be interested in their specialty, but you will after you're done with them.
What do you mean by that?
Miss Silk is available.
What was her specialty?
Oh,
I'm guessing she's a dom with that name.
I think you're getting, 50 Shades of Grey.
God, I'm sorry. That's raps, actually.
Think you're getting tied up, boy.
Yeah, I think that's GG for Ari.
Look, I mean, a little unfortunate, yeah.
No, well.
Okay. What do you want to do about this? Unfortunately, it seems like she's really the only one available for quite a while right now. Everybody's very busy at the moment. Turns out there's a little bit of a festivitous moment, and plenty of people want to celebrate now. I could not understand why it is, but a little bit of jovialness always leads to a good time. I mean, unless we would interrupt your friend and see if, we could get back to sharing Miss Delicious.
I mostly came here for my friend anyway, so...
You see, he's never had sex before.
I don't actually know that.
I'm here for moral support.
Well, you will because you're in the comms on this chat, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we're about to learn a little too much about our associate.
To be fair, the text does go literally in front of my eyes on my glasses.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Ooh, could have got text right in front of you. Yeah.
Who turned on text to speech? Or
Hey,
speech to text.
At least you didn't have camera mode on.
True.
Well, Well, that's unfortunate. I guess I came all the way out here for nothing. At least my friend had got some, time.
Are wonderful, wonderful girls not to your interest?
Well,
You've been had. Go. No.
I understand. I understand completely, as I have also many interests myself in many ways. Perhaps I could arrange something for another location. We have some other places in part of the town where different things are looked after. I know. Big men around here, they don't like to talk about it sometimes, but I'm sure we can find something for you.
What is he implying?
Bad things.
Offer you to a male escort. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were about to be offered. I thought he about to get offered a job.
I thought he was gonna offer.
Yeah.
You probably
for a second I thought he was.
You
too.
do get a tinge that maybe there was a suggestion in there somewhere, but it sounds like more like the other stuff there too.
Well, Ari will go. Oh, I kind of thought this would. I'll be honest. I thought this establishment might have
options. Oh, I'm afraid. Kind of like looking you over. You are close to one of my types. But no, not today, unfortunately. I'm a very, very businessman. But if, perhaps another day you want to step by again, maybe we can go on a little date somewhere.
And Ari doesn't even have to fake it. He probably looks legitimately relieved about not having to sleep.
And if your friend asks, I'll say the best thing. Great time with Miss Silk if you don't want to talk about it, or if you do.
Oh, yes, please do.
Oh. Certainly speaking, a lot of people are. He'll kind of get next to you and sit down. I understand. Not all people are accepting in a lot of things. There's so much accepting nowadays with all the changes that have happened over the last few decades. But still, there are so many set in their old ways. I know around here, so many of the old tribal types, the elders, they're a little bit more closed-minded in a lot of ways. But I understand.
I don't like that this guy is the most progressive person we've met.
Right?
Yeah.
He's also probably pretty awful. He's probably like a step down from everybody else, you know?
Yeah. Look, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, you know? He probably still has a lot of things, you know, that aren't good about him. But yes, slightly more progressive.
Well, I mean, he owns brothels.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. What a great guy.
Well, you get the feeling that, like, he's very much so an all-love kind of person. We'll say it that way, you know?
Yeah, but... You know.
Anyway, back to work. He'll give you kind of a wink and head back in the back room. And you can enjoy yourself without being visiting Miss Silk. Shoot.
Coward!
Yeah.
No.
A challenge to
mean-
figure out what to do there, you know?
Yep.
Have a nice conversation.
Realistically, I was hoping to get something out of the receptionist, but I guess not. So
You do get the feeling that the receptionist just isn't having any of it, kind of thing. You know.
yeah, that's just the thing. I was hoping to like talk to her and maybe get something out of her, because I felt like Mr. Smith would be a bit too. He seems too smart.
he definitely is clever, which may or may not be dangerous. You know.
Yep. So I didn't think it was worth showing any of my hand to him.
No.
Mhm.
Well, that was kind of
Smart play.
unfortunate. Oh well.
Yeah. Hey, you managed to navigate it in an interesting way that it's good navigation. Okay, so eventually, though, Nox, you will emerge from your room, being taken out to the main area, where you will be turned over to the elderly lady and say, Delicious will say, just have her take care of any kind of payments that are due. And of course, if you do expect to return, make it worse. I'm sure if you, after your business is done, want to revisit in the early mornings, you can arrange it there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the payment?
Well,
So,
I'll have to go to the desk for it.
yes, you'll have to go to the desk for it.
Oh, that was her. Sorry, that was Delicious. I thought that was like. At
Oh,
the
no.
desk.
That
This was delicious, but she
talking
was
to me.
saying it like at the door next to the desk. Basically, she was saying
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
within earshot of the old lady. So it sounds like, you know, she is saying stuff that is, here's this lady, pay her. Also, if you want to,
He's welcome.
in quotations, make another appointment for 6 a.m. ish time, you can do it now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
she's, you know, for the time you talked about coming back, she's basically stating that, you know, arranging that. So I would say, you will be charged for your enjoyable time, 500 9.
No, it's not too bad. Fair enough. I will pay 500 naira.
I mean, you weren't staying for an extended period of time. You've spent for like a couple of hours here, so, you know, it is a decent price. Probably you were given like the introductory package, you know, that maybe you'd be more interested to come back later and spend a little bit more.
That's
you know.
fair.
The old woman will like take, will say like 500 naira, you know, take your money and be like, do you wish to book a return visit?
Yes, please. Is 6 a.m. okay?
She's gonna kind of look up at you, like look you down. You have a lot of energy. Make sure you eat right.
Oh, thank you. Man, everyone is so nice here.
Get some chickens.
Get some chicken soup.
I am surprised you kept up your stamina. Anyway. So yeah, she'll arrange for you to come back around the same time that apparently Silence will be here. And then you'll be left to go with Ari and leave. Ari is sitting out here still.
You took
I'll
long enough.
land back on.
So-
Nox.
I would have landed back on Nox and climbed back into his hoodie.
This place has changed me.
Nox feels the drone shudder.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. Well, I think we got what we needed.
You definitely did.
So, do you want to turn? Or... No, I'm kidding. Let's get the fuck out of here. We should probably head back to the van now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we head back to the van.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was gonna say.
Okay. You'll head
Unless Ari
outside,
has business.
and the two men will kind of like give you looks, but probably a little bit more acknowledgement of, hey, you've been here at least. So they might expect you, if you return, to actually kind of recognize you to a bit. As you can kind of see, you know, it was already kind of later at night, and kind of at that point in time where it was the back end, where business was kind of cooling down when you originally arrived here. Not to say that there weren't probably people around, as I said, you know, there's a bit of a nightlife at this area with the bars and kind of stuff like that. And certainly the little marketplace there has some things that like go deeper into the night, that they offer some things there, certainly speaking. And also there's certain things that you have to get at different times of the day when different shipments come in too. So again, not completely quiet, but definitely on that kind of nighttime kind of thing. And now it's been a couple of hours at least, and you probably have like, I don't know, 3 more hours before your time. We'll say it's about 3 a.m. at this point in time, and things have kind of certainly quieted down. As you leave the building,
before they actually exit,
Mhm.
since I know they're exiting,
Mhm.
is that guy still around?
So if you take a look for him, give me a check to see if you can perceive him through your camera.
Yeah, let me look at my van stuff.
You don't have necessarily the best angle, so you probably wouldn't see everything, but maybe you can notice something.
I just gotta look at my van because it has a different sensor array.
Indeed. Let's switch this one
Okay,
in.
so
Go to which music have I here a little bit?
It's the GMC universe, right?
yeah. I bought extra packages though, so that's why.
I think it was a little different than the traditional.
Well, I'm looking at his sheet. I just want to know. So, that one has a sensor of 2.
Yep, I already looked.
You're checking if you got any upgrade on the sensor package. Is what you're doing.
Yeah, I was just double checking. I thought I did, but I guess not.
Well,
Maybe you stuck with
I think
drones.
it says sensor array rating 2, so I assume it starts with 0 and you bought it up to 2.
Yeah. That might be the way it is. It doesn't normally start with any kind of actual sensors because it's just a ban of some kind, you know. And when you soup it up to be able to use it, maybe there's some things in there. But,
Well,
okay.
I got the maximum of 2.
You got your maximum 2. And you kind of take a look around, and he doesn't seem to be out in any angle that you could see. So he's not by the door, at least anymore. But since you were kind of paying attention to stuff, you really missed if he moved away or if he's somewhere nearby, outside of your vision, because there's certainly places to be outside of your vision. But
I will say in comms, I don't see him around anymore, but I don't, have vision everywhere at the moment.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, we'll just beat him
I
up
could
if we
send
see
my
him.
other mosquito out.
Meh.
Want to play it extra safe.
Nah, I don't really care that much.
Okay.
I mean, if we see him again, we'll either just like beat him up or tell him to leave us alone. I don't know. He didn't seem all that threatening or annoying than anything else.
That doesn't mean he doesn't have connections to more threatening people in the area.
I didn't think about that. Nah, we'll beat them up too. Well, we got what we need, so I guess we're just gonna sit around until he shows up.
okay.
Well, I guess
I assume we debrief everyone.
Yeah, just let the
I guess I need to contact my smuggler contact.
Oh, so you're heading back to the
fine.
vehicle. I was gonna.
Yeah.
So as you're heading back to the vehicle, you don't really see any signs of the guy, and things do seem like it's like around 3 a.m. Things are a little quiet now too. Though something unusual does occur along the way. A bird walks up to you. It looks like some kind of goose, starts kind of honking at you a little bit and kind of wanders up next to you.
Ari, is this a friend of yours?
It starts kind of pecking at Nox a little
Rude.
What? Yeah, me.
bit. Yeah. It
Oh,
doesn't seem like
Metal
particularly
birds.
violent, but it does seem to kind of like be like it's got
it's
that
a
attention.
goose. That shit's targeted.
Yeah. Well,
Never
I'm gonna
I actually had a goose hiss at me this morning
try and gently grab it.
Mm-hmm.
in real life.
It's kind of
That's
like
not a great idea
honking and
in real
making
life.
noise at you.
Like put my put it like under my arm.
Grab
like
it
you would
right by
carry,
the
like,
neck,
a,
lift it up.
No, that's if it's attacking. You grab a goose by the neck. This
Mhm.
one seems not friendly, but it's kind of like meandering.
Just
Mhm.
collecting animals.
Will it allow me to pick it up and put it under my?
I think that's a check, right?
Is it a?
It's an animal handling skill.
There's
Uh,
animal
I mean-
handling.
Yeah, I don't know how agreeable this goose is.
I would say it feels mostly agreeable, but again, like it does seem to be like just taking like an interest to you and a little bit of an aggression towards you. You know.
Okay. I can roll animal handling if you'd like me.
Sure.
I got 3 dice.
Okay.
I'll edge. Fuck it.
Okay.
Fair.
I want the goose.
Mm-hmm.
You could be best friends with the lizard.
4 successes.
All right. It'll allow you to take it up. Certainly speaking, as a goose, it does look to be some kind of probably domestic breed. You would say, most gooses you would find aren't like wild ones around here. But again, you don't see any signs of where it is. Maybe similar to how you're disguised as a farm truck. Maybe it wandered off from one, or maybe it just lives around here, or who knows. But it was hanging out around you and seemed to have taken interest in you, and now you have a goose under your arm that seems to be well behaved.
No collar or anything. It just seems.
No, just seems to be.
I feel weird calling a goose a stray, but it doesn't appear to be.
A stray goose.
Fair enough. All right, said to the
Just
van.
make sure it's not an actual person.
Oh, well, Nox doesn't know. Why would he care?
Here's the thing. It doesn't actually have to be person. It could also just be a magic goose too, because probably
It
those
could just
exist.
be a magical creature.
Yeah.
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 It is the
For all we
shadow.
know, this could be like a bomb that's just disguised
It's
as
a
a
guy.
goose.
It's actually a drone that's
Mhm.
disguised as a goose.
I mean, Nox is too fucking stupid to care. He's just, oh, cool, I got a goose. I couldn't have my lizard.
Mhm.
This is a good consolation
I've
prize.
got friends.
Mhm.
So I can make the lizard love me more now with his friends.
I am not
Oh.
smuggling your animals back into the US.
Why not, man?
Because I'll poop in my van.
Yeah, Alucard
get-
never lets anyone have any fun.
Yeah,
Don't
honestly,
poop in my van, man.
I'll pile into the van with my goose in tow.
I feel like everyone looks at you. Like, why do you have a goose?
What?
Can I?
We never
Can I
had a goose
sense-
before.
Tell me that's not who you slept with.
No, no. It was a very nice lady named Delicious, I think.
Yes, that was her.
This
name.
goose was just outside your van. He's my friend now.
Why did you pick up the goose?
His name is
So-
Goose Howard.
So,
First of all,
Naomi,
This gonna turn to a guy.
Naomi, the goose is magical.
All right.
Whether it's a guy or
look
not,
at the-
it is a magic goose.
so
I look at the goose very carefully.
The goose kind of like looks at you a little bit and kind of just kind of like preens a feather and it kind of comes back to looking at you a little bit.
What? Jealous that I have a goose, Naomi?
Okay. Technically, I think I have knowledge parazoology. Can I roll to see if I recognize that this goose is magical?
Don't you need if it's like a magical aura, do you need like aura sight? or
This
what?
would be the
I
thing
don't have
because
aura sight.
Naomi has an ongoing aura sight kind of thing, so like
Yeah.
that's a thing that's always
That's
active.
why it's like immediate.
So you don't read a lot about it, but you just sense that there's a magical aura to the goose. You know.
Did we bring Frosty?
No.
That's a good question.
I think
I don't
she
think we
stayed.
did, right?
I don't think we did.
I think
no,
you,
I
I-
think it was just us four.
yeah, I
I
think you
pull
had her
out
stay back at the
my-
thing just in case like she needed to work on some
After
stuff.
observing the goose, I pull out my comms device, and I will specifically send her a private message of the plan, and also the idiot human found a magical goose.
That's fair.
What kind of goose?
What kind of goose is it, DM?
Well, does one of you have any kind of
question.
Biology skill rather than parazoology skill?
I literally have a parazoology skill.
Do you have basic skills too? Because the thing is, you'd have to know it's magical for this kind of thing, because it just looks like a regular goose. So
hold on, let me look at the.
I will tell you, it does not have an appearance that looks like a particular parazoology creature that would be a goose. Whether it's like a specific one or one that's local, it just looks like a regular goose. But what breed
my
or
thought is
species
like
of
maybe
it,
I can determine
yeah,
I'm
all right. So
if you know it's magical, you might be able to determine some
turn
things.
To Ari, who I know is a magical creature themselves. This creature is magical.
Combat magical skills.
Yeah, I looked. I don't have standard biology.
Is there regular biology? Because I know
I'm looking for it. I can't find one.
biotechnology.
Yeah, maybe it's a skill you can pick up in your
special interest.
It might be a knowledge skill.
No, that would make sense. So that's like super specialized.
Yeah. Well, parazoology is a knowledge skill.
Well, if you want to roll parazoology as you kind of look over this creature, if you're informed that it has some kind of magic to it, as the goose will stare at you for a little while, Ari, while you are looking at it.
Nice.
Certainly speaking, there are a number of types of creatures it could be. It doesn't sound like anything that necessarily would be local to this area. You think about, and what it exactly is. There is a not short, like long list. There's a short list of things, but like just knowing it's magical is not enough to tell you. And there are plenty of creatures that do appear as normal, and it does seem relatively not dangerous, at least at the moment, but that doesn't mean anything in the long term. It just seems to be there as a magic goose for all you tell.
I will
so it's sort of like
send Frosty a picture.
So, man,
There's part of me that was really hoping you were going to tell me this goose is a person, because I would have pulled a gun on it.
Just blow its head off in the van.
Not in the van, please.
Fortunately, it's not a Canadian goose, because there's a variety of Canadian goose called thunder gooses.
Yeah, it is.
They are magic gooses that have, thunder powers. Also, they get a lot bigger.
Naturally, but of course.
Yeah.
I don't want to clean up the mess, especially in like a few hours. We're going to be trying to haul a bunch of people in here.
Look, it's your fault for not having a self-cleaning car.
Yeah,
that's true.
The largest thunder goose got a wingspan of up to 20 feet wide.
Yep.
So big.
Big goose.
So it doesn't seem to be that, though. It's not like a Canadian goose kind of thing, but it doesn't mean it's not like a possible other variant of a magic creature. Or,
I also don't want a goose in my van.
Well, I got bad news for you.
Bathroom everywhere.
Yeah, I got bad news, blood.
Well, you have magic goose in the van with you.
Can you leave that outside, sir?
Well, what's wrong with what? You don't like the goose?
I don't want to go into the bathroom in my van.
I'll clean it up. Or we'll get him a goose diaper or something. I'll reimburse you. Listen, I didn't get to keep the lizard, alright?
How are you going to bring a goose back?
How are we going to smuggle 10 people out of the country?
I'm going to work on that. With
Well,
my smuggler.
That's 10 people and a goose.
10 people and a goose. It's the same thing,
Ari pulls out a bird's.
To get smuggled.
I'll pay for the goose to get smuggled.
Ari pulls out a suit for the bird. No.
This goose may be smarter than you.
This goose may be cooked.
How would you know that? You don't know that.
I'm just gonna say, like, you get a feeling that the goose goes along with that and says it's honks and maybe shakes his head a little bit.
I demand to know this goose's logic. I demand. Show me that goose's character right now.
No. Anyway,
I'll pull out a little ration and give it to the goose.
it'll take it. The goose seems to take a
Yeah,
liking
please.
to you.
See, he's friendly.
Mhm.
I say he.
So-
Like, turn the goose upside down. I actually know.
Ah!
Are you
What
Goose
gender
Howard or are
is
you
it?
Goose Harriet? Who can tell its gender?
I feel like as a bird, I
have
should
to
be able
check
to
its
determine.
full
I feel like there should be. This is like offensive.
I feel like as a bird, I
Knox
should be
doesn't know
able
that
to
Ari's a
what
bird
another
person.
bird is.
Knox doesn't know I was a bird person. It's the
He's
one
the
thing.
only one who doesn't know.
Nox is Nox is the most innocent and oblivious person I've ever seen in a Shadowrun game.
He's just a
Love
guy.
it.
who's
He
got-
He's
really
just
is
a
just a
guy.
guy.
I was gonna say he's punch drunk. What are you
He's
talking
not
about?
supposed to be here.
He has
Yeah, I've
so
got
many concussions,
I've
man.
got cauliflower ear, detached retinas. I'm fucked up, dude.
Oh. Oh.
Listen, the pits are no joke.
But I'll help you pay for the smuggling of the people, not the goose.
Uh,
I will contact Aggie.
okay.
It's all right, Goose Howard. You'll have your time.
Also, I will end my sustaining of increased agility.
Nice.
Okay.
I'll keep the van
If you wanna
masked
keep
until
the
we're
van
out.
up,
Yeah. It does mean I can't leave the van.
Yes, but
But-
if we need you to leave the van, we need you
Yeah.
to leave the van, and that means shit's gone sideways, and
Yeah.
Why don't we hold off on contacting Agi, arranging stuff, and doing that till next time? Because right at the good area there, as we have Frosty back at the hotel, who we help arrange stuff with, and of course you have 4 people in a goose in a van. As the goose is chewing on some rations.
Yeah.
It's a real
I do wanna
sitcom
say-
situation.
I do want to say, once we debrief, I do plan to use my my knowledge smuggling routes to try and figure out a good way
Right.
to get a bird's eye view and try and find a good way to like
Get
escape,
them out of the
basically.
city,
Yeah.
or get them out of this area.
well,
at
yeah,
least.
I'm going to try to also figure out if there's a way to disarm that door,
Mm.
Probably. Yeah.
because then we
Wouldn't
can
be
get the
too
girls
hard.
out the back.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Then you can smuggle a lot of stuff
Yeah.
out the back, very quickly and efficiently. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, so I'd like to find a route, get a bird's eye view, and scout.
Yes.
Maybe this will be the one time my lockpicking skill will come up.
I have lockpicking too.
But
It's
yes,
probably going to be more electronics.
you made a good check,
Alright.
and the main awakened animals that you know in this area, this would be an unusual one. Could have been imported. You are a port city. There's a species of carnivorous fish-eating bats which are awakened.
Nice.
Some carnivorous awakened monkeys. The devil
Sick.
rats, which have been taken in from other places in the world, and of course there are awakened manatees.
Nice.
Oh, naturally.
That's really
But of
cool.
course.
Yeah.
That's just a
Uh,
mermaid.
So
It's just
Just some
I'm
ugly
actually, yeah.
mermaids.
the awakened ones
like an,
are also the awakened
They
manatees
also
are also
are they
dangerous because
carnivorous?
they've gone carnivorous. Yes,
But yeah, that is usually what happens when an animal awakens.
it does lure people into the water to consume them.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're voracious
Well,
carnivores.
basically it's
To
so
shred, you
basically it's
say.
not a local variant of magical.
It's
Got
a moopsie.
Yeah.
I've been
Oh.
watching a lot of The Boys lately, and there's an episode where a bunch of the animals are experimenting on its
Oh, beat up.
superpowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Super sheep.
Yeah.
That are carnivorous.
Awakened chameleons the size of large Dobermans that live in the
Yeah,
area.
the-
I love that one.
That gif is what that goose is gonna do to the Nox.
Yeah. There's a type of Sasquatch that lives in the area, of course.
Maybe the goose ends up being like a Futurama bone vampire. Like you guys are gonna find him one
Bone
day, just no
vampire.
bones.
Nox, how'd you lose your bones?
Goose Howard betrayed me.
Howard the Goose.
My son.
There's a bunch of
picking up
swallows
strange
that
animals.
apparently the only thing that they have as an awakened power is they have a mesmerizing light that they use to lure in their prey, but it also can affect other humans and mammals
Yeah,
too.
no, animals are fucked in this world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out when you add magic to things, it just creates weird effects, you know.
Well, to be fair, I feel like there are probably a lot of weird magical things, like something that just makes something glow, but they don't describe it in the books because that's not interesting.
Yes. It's the thing of like, whatever this is, it's probably not like. Again, there's not like a normal list of things that this is, like, you know, generally speaking. But you know, it's Strange Awakened Goose. Anyway, we'll worry about that later. But yeah, we'll end things there. We can have our nice phone call with your smuggler and see about, you know, arranging to get a bunch of prostitutes out while capturing a man, which they would probably
played this Fallout New Vegas quest.
Forgot that was a quest there until you just mentioned that. Yes, to get the prostitutes out, but also capturing a guy with their help. You know. So. Okay, cool. That'll be interesting next time. Again, you've taken things in an interesting area, but also technically have learned where the statue currently is, which is not an easy place to get it from. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It's at the Igbo Elders' house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
At least that's the last place it was.
We don't know where it is. We know who it's with, but we don't know where his house is, technically.
Well, you can probably find out where his house is, but whether he kept it there or
I assume
didn't.
it won't be hard. I'm just saying we don't technically know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm being technical.
Yeah.
And I'm technically correct.
And again,
So
that's where it had been dropped off, probably by silence. Whether the elder has kept it there or done something else with it, you don't know yet. So,
Short it.
It's entirely possible.
It is entirely possible. You don't know if there's a reason behind to do that or not, honestly speaking. But yeah.
Just to piss off
the Robins.
Yeah.
There is definitely a possibility of that exists. But yeah. Anyway, we'll definitely leave things there. That'll be a fun little time next time. So we'll have to help these people out and possibly get into retrieving the statue or starting the quest for that kind of thing there too. Because then you'll have the two parts to your we get into an auction, a guy and a thing he stole. You know. So anyway. All right, I'll turn it over to people. Unless anybody else has anything to shout out, we'll turn it over to Wyrm. So I'll give everybody a chance. Anybody got anything, or are we throwing it over to Wyrm here for his shout out where to find him and stuff?
Well, I mean, I can shout my blue sky out more, I guess. I probably should start using the damn thing.
I generally speaking do use that and Twitter. I'm never calling it X, it's Twitter. Sorry.
No, it's cringe.
Yeah. I just throw people.
I literally never call it X. It's just
You can follow me on Blue Sky and see me occasionally post about how I'm sad that I didn't get my gotcha character today.
Yeah, one day.
I mean, I got a whole month before she's out of rotation, so.
Hey,
Power of the gotcha.
You're fine.
And then we'll.
It's a wizard who uses a great sword. Why wouldn't I want her?
I mean, yeah, that's sick.
That's a pretty good combination. Great wizard. A very impressive one. And then, of course, we turn it over to Wyrm while the story is shout out. That one there?
Yeah, I'm Diamond Worm. You can find me on twitch.tv/DiamondWorm or at Diamond Worm on Twitter, Blue Sky, and YouTube. My next stream will be Friday, which should be with Tantus. I think we're going back to
Void Train? I believe it is a Void Train week.
Void Train, yeah.
Yes.
It is.
Which was very fun.
I just forgot the name of it.
Yeah,
I just was like, my brain said train, and then I couldn't remember the first word.
Yeah. Been a very fun survival game time. Anyway, hi, Dracovin. You've been on my channel, so if you're enjoying this, please check out some other things. I have a lot of other games that are archived here that I've run. Of course, you could go watch back all the old episodes and expect the new episodes. The next one will be, of course, next Wednesday at 8. I have other things like other tabletop-related content, lore-wise, and of course, things like Discuss Tabletop, where we talk about news of the week. I would recommend checking out some other such stuff. Whether, of course, you're over joining us live on Twitch, hey, thank you for joining me, or joining me later on over on YouTube. If you are on the YouTube, do the YouTube things. Of course, find the other supports, links on all the places down below for all those kind of things for myself. And hey, hopefully you can join us next week where the adventures will continue, and it will be more in shenanigans and insanity. You know,
hey, Jantis, don't forget possibly something Monday.
Yes, that's true. If everything comes together like I'm planning, I cannot forget to shout out May the 4th be with Star Trek. If everything goes on, I gotta be honest, if I get 2 players, I could probably run it for my plans I had, you know, but I really should do it 2 weeks ahead of time, but a lot of stuff happened, and I remembered, honestly, to start messaging people at the beginning of this week, which is better than one of the years. One of the years I was like 4 days ahead of time. This is at least like a week ahead of time. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
So,
I'm pretty sure one year you did it like literally like 2 days before.
I know, it was one of the years my brain like completely shut down. At least this time, like the weird business I've been having lately, which has been messing with my schedule, is a good excuse for it. And I did actually do some work on it ahead of time, so I made plans on what's going to happen. You know, and I know what the session's going to be for when I run it. So, thumbs up there. Anyway,
Just players is the up in the air part.
yes, that's the one I unfortunately really also needed. You know, having the game set up for what we're going to be doing, that's good, but yeah, probably get some names or stuff too. That's I think that's the one thing I haven't done is like name some stuff, you know. So I know that, you know, I'll have to like maybe figure those out. Anyway, but so that'll be a thing coming up too, so check those out too. That'll be fun, whether you're joining us either live or later on YouTube. Anyway, until next time, I'm going to say to everybody, bye, farewell, have a good night.
Bye.